Imagine a world without choices. Imagine you can't make your own decision. That wouldn't be a world for me. That wouldn't be a world for you. UIC.
Tell them we're gonna be stronger. Together we can make it right. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. Gonna be stronger together. Time we all just unify. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. It is a natural right for every human being to be free. Free, so free. So the government is there to protect you and me. UIC objective is to liberate the citizens from colonial bondage, them regulation, them taxation. Rob Jamaica, we independent. Be stronger together we can make it right. Our purpose is.
Hi, good evening everyone, and welcome to another edition of UIC Liberty TV. My name is Joseph Patterson, President of UIC, and I'm very happy to be here with you tonight. We have a very interesting program lined up. We're going to be talking to a number of individuals across the spectrum of Jamaica about what is happening right now in Jamaica. We also want to invite you to call in tonight. We're going to put our call-in number on the screen. You can write it down and get ready to join us at any time during the program. Just call in and we'll take your call and listen to your concerns and your suggestions, or just your general comments if you want to share any thought with us. The big issue today in Jamaica is the strike of our public transport operators. As you know, they've been under a lot of assault for the longest while, but things have been heating up a lot of lately. So we want to make sure we give some full coverage to that and express the UIC's unequivocal support for taxi and bus operators who are the heartbeat of Jamaica, who connect all sides of Jamaica. You know, they bring our nurses, our teachers, our doctors, our lawyers, our students, our parents, our grandparents, from home to work, to school, to play, to various activities. Without them, Jamaica would come to a crawl. And so whenever the taxi operators find it necessary to strike, you know, it's a very, very serious thing. I think they're, you know, one of the most resilient group we have in Jamaica. And it's a kind of love-hate relationship because many of us don't like the way we see taxi drivers drive on the road. Sometimes they can be quite reckless and, you know, and some of them have really put people's lives at risk. But on the other hand, we need to understand what is driving this kind of behavior in the society. Why are they behaving this way? Now, we're not making excuses, but we want to understand what's really happening in the sector. Why is it a taxi man have 200-300 tickets outstanding for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years? What is driving all of this? As you know, the UIC is the People's Party. We're focused on understanding the issues that affect the Jamaican people and building solutions that's going to make Jamaica a safe, clean, and orderly country where all of we can live, earn, and retire with dignity. So tonight we're going to talk about solutions, but first we're going to discuss the problems. And I have some very, very eminent Jamaicans from right across the spectrum here tonight to talk with us about the issues. Welcome to all of you who are online with us tonight. I am seeing some of our regular friends online here. I am seeing Javon Wilson asking, what is your plan, sir? We can't just sit here and talk all day, sir. We need to borrow a bus and start campaign, sir. Javon, you are so right. And we're going to beg, borrow, and we're not going to thief, but we're going to get a bus and we're going to travel around the country with your help. Liddy Williams is on as well, saying class in session. A pleasant good night, Mr. President, and unite us at home and abroad. Good to have you again, Liddy, and thank you for your constant and consistent support of the movement. Sylvester Lawrence is on. UIC all the way. Big up, my friend. Good to see you on. Alan Scott. Soul sound, you must be a messenger. Something like that. Can't fully understand that, Alan, but you're always here and you're always giving us some inspirational thoughts. Carol Spence. Thank you for being on tonight with us, Carol. one love to you as well. And Donovan Oilet from Pennsylvania, good to see that you're present and looking forward to having a wonderful chat with you. Everybody who's watching, get ready to pick up your phone and to call 876-293-0812. You can call direct or on WhatsApp, and we'll be happy to speak with you on the subject tonight. Bottom line, you know what I said tonight? We're saying enough is enough. We're tired of what has been going on for the last 79 years. And as you have heard from the UIC, don't just blame the JLP and the PNP. You need to understand that there's a bigger master over all of this, and it's the PSOJ who funds and control both of them. And they use the money they get from the PSOJ to trick we and to keep going one or the other. So it doesn't matter whether you elect JLP or PNP, you're always electing the PSOJ who controls them both. If we want real change in Jamaica, we're going to have to change the entire dynamics. And that is to turn the system up on its head by electing a UIC representative in your community, becoming a UIC representative in your community, volunteering, donating, and voting UIC so that you can have a new and better Jamaica. Jamaica will never change if we continue to do what we have been doing for the last 79 years. So now, let me invite into our studio some of our friends waiting here. I'm going to bring all of them on first and then get a quick intro, and then we're going to go back to them, one by one and talk about a few things. So welcome Gregory Reed, welcome Charmaine King, good to see you, good night. Natalie G, welcome. Maurice Williams, welcome to you. And Lil Dego Vivo, wow, that's a very complicated name, but welcome, good to see you on. You have a question? Can I see that question before I move on? Let me see what the question is. Hold on a second here. Can I get to that question? System hard to navigate tonight. Let me see if I can get to that question. Here we go. Here we go. It is saying here, whoops, it slipped off again. Why is that? It says, sir, why don't you and the party host a general conference at the national arena? Wow. Well, first and foremost, we hardly have enough money to even go door-to-door campaigning, so we can't do that. Very expensive. But we have something similar. Here's what we're going to be doing. You can join us. Everybody, all of Jamaica is welcome to join us at our annual general meeting, which we're going to have on the 26th of March. We're going to have our annual general meeting on the 26th of March. And, Nadine is here. And so you're all welcome to attend. You can attend online or you can attend in person at our head office in St. Elizabeth. If you want to be able to vote, you need to take out your membership by going on our website and, taking out a membership, paying your membership dues, and then you'll be able to participate. This year, we have elections across the board again. You remember last year we had elections for president and VPs and GenSec, and that's General Secretary and Treasurer. Did I say chairman? So we're going to have a similar situation again this year, March 22nd, where we vote for our offices again. I will be on the ballot, and a number of other persons will be on the ballot, and we welcome all Jamaicans to join the process and elect the leadership of the UIC. Lots of comments coming in. Greetings to you, Norman Smith. Greetings to you, for the truth. Good to see you. Angela, what is that? Goslin. It's a Patterson Ponder Road. You stand strong with the Jamaican people while them stand strong with you. Absolutely. Big up to everyone on the platform. Wonderful. All right. Well, Javon, it's not that we want to capitalize. I know you're saying we should capitalize on the taxi operators, but that's not our goal. If you notice, the UIC is very different. We don't seek to just play politics with the Jamaican people. We're very focused on solutions. And if we identify with a problem and we can participate in the protest action, then we will. But let me bring on, first of all, Mr. Marcado. Did I pronounce that right? Micardo.
Portuando.
Micardo Portuando. Oh, you come up with the name, the boss?
Why? I'd have to ask the generation of families.
My goodness. I have never seen anybody with that name there in Jamaica. You must
Well, anybody with that name is our relative.
Must be Portuando. Is that Portuguese or Spanish or what? What kind of name that? Do you know?
It's both Portuguese and Spanish.
And Spanish. Okay, wonderful. Yes. All right. Well, you should know that my wife has some Portuguese in her background as well.
Okay.
But me are the real authentic African. No European mixed up in this. Actually, on the truth. My name is Patterson, so you know something must be going on there.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, welcome and thanks for being on tonight, Mr. Marcado.
Thanks for having me.
As you know, the big issue right now in Jamaica is what's happening to our taxi operators and by extension, all the people of Jamaica, because whatever them do to UNO, it trickles down to the rest of it.
Right.
So if they mess up the system with the taxi operators and the bus operators, the public transport operators, it will mess up the system for all of us in Jamaica. So
it's motorists on our own.
Yes. So talk to us about it. Tell us what are the issues and what are you doing about it, your group?
Okay, I apply the Red Hills Road routes from Afritree to Bryce Right via Whitehall too sometimes. And basically we are not with what the government has done about the tickets, because we all know that they had some tickets before that was illegal tickets. And when I say illegal, what makes them illegal is the fact that they weren't amended in the traffic book, right? So if you know that you had some tickets that were illegal, why don't you just wipe the slate clean and start afresh? So first and foremost, we said, okay, then they say they want some money. Okay, the taximen them willing to pay. We say, okay, then give us some time to pay. That's all I come about the song that said, give it some time, give it more time, give it more time. But I realized that seeing this new traffic act, it's crazy, it's ridiculous. So we don't even want any more time. We need a new government. It's madness.
Stick a pin. I want our viewers to understand the first issue you mentioned. That's where the government illegally, the government of Jamaica, who makes the laws of Jamaica, illegally ticketed, illegally charged, rather, taxi operators. Explain that one to me somewhere.
Okay, they are, and to tell you the truth, we, the citizens, wouldn't know this until allegedly, I don't want to tell any lies. Allegedly, this big time top shot man wants to get some kind of ticket, and when he went to the court and paid the ticket, he dug and did some research and realized that the ticket that he has paid, that isn't the actual price of the ticket. And then he just started a ball of fire and just let the whole public know that many of the ticket, the prices of the ticket, the amendment was sometime years ago. It was changed.
Yes.
So who is the one? I would like to know who is the one that is responsible for these, who set these prices that wasn't passed in Parliament. I would love to know.
Yes, so here's what happened. So this is what happened. The government ignored its own law and outside of the legislative process went ahead and prescribed new amounts to be charged to the citizens without making the proper legislation to support that. Now, when they found out years later, they simply changed the law so the government would not be held accountable. Now, supposing all the taxi drivers were able to go and change the law to make their tickets zero. That would be wonderful, eh? But you and I can't do that. We can't go and change the law when they come and bring the heavy hammer upon us.
Right.
But when they make a mistake, the way they adjust it is by just going and changing the law retroactively and say,
just like that.
We make a mistake. So retroactively, they went and changed the law and said, good, we're okay now. Even though we were breaking the law all these years, we're now okay. But the government now is willing to crush you, crush the poor taxi driver, crush the poor public bus operator, because they're powerful and mighty and they're the gods. And when they say so, so it must go no matter what, and we're willing to crush you for it. No. Having illegally charged you this money and is now holding that money over your head along with other tickets, what are some of the other problems now that they have compiled on top of that?
The problems are major problems.
So tell me about some of that.
For starters, okay then, they didn't know why the slate clean of all the tickets. There's a big confusion because I have a friend that had some tickets before, they said the tickets before 2018, some kind of amnesty on those tickets. That's what I heard, clearly.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Right? So he had about 50, he's a past taxi operator. He had about 50 tickets, right? He came to me and rejoicing. 40 out of my tickets were wiped, the slate was wiped clean. I only have 3 outstanding tickets now. I said, how comes that? He said, yes. When I went on the thing, they have a thing online where you can type up your name and stuff, and then all the outstanding tickets pop up. He said, when I did that, I only 3 tickets I had, and I had 50 tickets just the other day. I said, yes, they wiped the tickets in. But when you go down to the courthouse, they're telling you your tickets before 2018, you should go to the old court and pay them. So I cannot understand the confusion. What's going on? It's like this and that. There's not one certain thing that you're sure about. So okay, that's what's happening. It's just pure confusion, and that's what happened the other day by the courthouse. It's just confusion. People don't know what to do. They're just running up and down like some chicken, headless chicken.
I went to court the other day. I got a driving ticket. They gave me, I was going to do a presentation at Marcus Garvey High School. And normally on the highway, it's 110. On
110.
the main highway there.
Main highway, yeah.
East to west. But when you're going now on the highway, which is the north-south highway. 80. So I don't ply that route very often. Well, very rarely do I drive that way because most of my traverse is between Kingston and St. Elizabeth, So yeah. I turned on that highway, and according to them, I was going above the speed limit. Fine. So when I looked at my meter, it suggested that I was going about 90. And according to their report, I was going 100 and something. Probably by habit, I don't know, but I didn't see that on my meter. No problem. I went to court to contest the ticket. I got to court 9:30. I left there sometime after 5.
A whole day wasted.
An entire day. And by the way, I contested the ticket and I won. Okay? But
so yes,
9:30 to 5 o'clock, an entire business day is what it took me. And I was there, and people who hear how bad it is. People who I went there and saw didn't get through before me. That's how convoluted the process is. So persons were there before me. I got there 9:30, and the line was already long, stretching on both sides of the road.
Yes.
And people who I saw with my own eyes that were there before me, old grandmother, old man, I left them there. I was, and stuff. I had to go around the desk and help them to find my name.
Wow.
So they had, a yellow piece of paper, a yellow piece to go with a white and green piece or something like that.
White, yeah.
They were so confused. Now, Ricardo, I stood there the whole day as like a researcher because I wanted to really understand this thing. So I observed, my wife was there with me, the poor lady suffered. So I observed the entire process. And here's the process. We're all outside with our yellow ticket. I wait. And then at some point they said, give away a ticket. And whoever can get away and push it over the crowd.
Push it over.
And then
So it's like a scramble.
A scramble. So I get my yellow ticket in. And then now the line is there. And who can get in, and who, whatever. Finally, I get in and go down to the bottom. I'm sitting on that tent for a while. I get a bit anxious. I decide to walk up and squeeze my way in between a police officer and get inside the area. And then I observe the process. And as I observe the process, I discovered that when they get my yellow ticket, it go at the bottom, right? And every other yellow ticket that come go on the top. So if you come last, you're going to get through first.
Right.
And if you come first, you're going to get through last. You follow me? And then in the process, here what they do, they take the yellow ticket now and they match it with the green and white. And when they match it, they put it into alphabetical order. Now when they put it in, now, remember, you know, whoever come first, give him the yellow ticket. They're at the bottom of the. Right. When they try to match it now, here we're going. You're matching now all the Pattersons or all the P's over here, all the A's or the B's. So it just like get mixed up. And the longer they do it, is the more mixed up they become. And I'm like, what's wrong with them people here? Yeah. Where the brain come from? How you get this? How you do this? No, guess what? We're in the 21st century, and they're still operating with the big thick book, the big black thick book. And they will write down name, and the person will write. The lady had to sit there. I have to ask her, you want some water? The work kind of, because I see her foot I get wobble. So I said, you want some water? She was so happy. She said, really? I said, yeah, man. And she was so kind, you know, because I asked her that she kind of helped me out still.
Help you out, yeah.
And she's standing there filling out all of these, the paper, transcribing what's on the paper here into a book to then take it inside to the judge. They call out some name. They ball out your name, you know. If you're down to the 10th, you might not hear your name. And then if they call a name and they not get you.
And they don't get you. You're right.
You until you're bad. No, so what we know? By the time they finish all of this shenanigans, I asked myself the question, when did we miss the 21st century? When did we miss computers? When did we miss having a database that is designed for you to, everybody, when a person show up, you just know, say, okay, they show up, the system tell you, it got through to the judge's desk, she has a computer that tell her who is next, and the stuff, there's a PA system outside, a PA system, so when you call it out, it's not somebody shouting, Joseph Patterson! In a big empty hall, and then somebody else, I want them to say Patterson or Matterson. And, you know, it's so ridiculous. But this is Jamaica in 2023. Is what the PNP and JLP do in this country for 79 years. Is what am I do? The place, you're going to the courthouse, the place whole, the place mash up, you go to the bathroom, it not care for, you're passing through old furniture, old filing cabinet in a side, old paper. What kind of country is this?
With all those tax money they collecting.
$993 billion in taxes.
Where's that money going?
Wait a go. Now hold on, my friend. I want to bring in some other people here upon the conversation. 1 second. I want to bring in, where is Miss? Now I'm going to pull a Jamaica upon you. Where is she? Miss Cunningham. I'm bringing Miss Cunningham. She's the last one who come in, but I'm bringing her second to you. And it's only because she has been on the road with you guys. When you were out the other day, not this time, but before.
Before
was the UIC representative. She and Miss Ramirez Acosta was out there. So Miss Cunningham, how are you doing today, madam?
Are you able to hear me?
Loud and clear. We can't see you clearly, but we can hear you clearly.
Not very techy, so I wasn't sure. I am great, thank you so much. And yes, I did enjoy that day on the road.
Yeah, man, and you did very well. You represented the UIC with distinction, and so we're very proud.
Thank you very much.
Now, what did you like to tell us tonight? I know you have another meeting. I know you're just calling us in between work and stuff. what comment would you like to share about your view of the public transportation sector in Jamaica and the government's approach?
Well, my view was pretty clear, and you basically touched on it, because once they are affected, we are affected. I just don't understand how one cannot think about the fact that, all right, so there are mothers out there, there are even fathers, have their kids to take home, people coming from school, people coming from work. Not everyone drives. Someone can be sick and need a cab to get to the hospital, things like that. We can't overlook those things. Those things are important. You're talking about the people that's in the country that you want to vote for you. And when you treat them like that, how do you expect to get? It doesn't just affect the taxes.
Well, they're not worried about the supporting them, because the way it works nowadays is you find a way to get 63% not to turn up because you turn them off so much. And then you find that you get 330 million from the PSOJ to go buy the licky you want them, where a beer and a
desert clocks.
Huh? Yeah, man.
A desert clocks and guineas.
Yeah, you find those people who are moved by your clocks, and those who are moved by a dub plate, and those who are moved by a curry goat, and those who are moved by $5,000 stuff in a shirt or a cap. So them know who them are gonna reach. Them don't need the vote of certain people apparently, because it's only 37% of us voted in the last election, and the government of the day only got 21% of the total voter population. But somebody on this comment thread here says, but they bring 21st century laws like car seats for kids just to collect more from the people, while they're keeping us stuck in the dark ages in terms of the actual quality of government services. So the government, they are not being held accountable for the quality of the Jamaica that they have created. But they want to hold us, everyone, away. They want to hold us accountable. They want to strip we collect money for everything. They're collecting money for every single move we make, whether it's property tax or vehicle registration or license plate or ticket. They just a ticket we every way they can, but they're not providing us. They're not providing us. Take a taxi man. A taxi man have to spend most of the money in make pan repair. Allow me to tell?
Yeah, because they basically telling us, and then they send exam on the road to tell you that your car is not worthy to drive on the road. The road is not worthy for your car to drive on.
Exactly. Let me bring in Kirk, Kirk Graham on this. Give me 1 second. Kirk, I'm going to bring you in right now. Give me your thoughts on this, Kirk.
I'm listening to a lot of what it's saying, and a lot of things that I'm realizing, especially coming to Jamaica a lot. I think a lot of it goes back to, as you were saying, at the court. There is a training issue that there's no one really trained in the court as to what to do when you go to the court and how it's supposed to be handled for each individual's paperwork. There's also no education right there, as I said. But there needs to be a database at some point in time in Jamaica to where this taxi cab driver gets a ticket. He's supposed to be in court on March the 15th. And it's in the database, so he has a time court. He shows up to court that time, and he is being he's being careful at that time where he can see a judge instead of sitting down and waiting all day. But it's not just a court issue, because when I come to Jamaica, therefore vacation, it takes you all day to go to the bank to get your own money that you put in the bank. But I think what has happened is that we have become, as Jamaica, so used to a system that is not upgraded, and a government and businesses that are not upgrading their system, that we sit down and we go, oh, it's the norm. No, it's not the norm, because I've seen this to a lot of my friends. If you want to get through to Jamaica and you want to get something done, go there 1 hour before they close. Because all of a sudden, everybody in this building is ready to go home, so you see the lines moving fast. It's just a matter of us actually caring about each other
So
and
Kirk,
actually do what it's supposed to be do correctly.
here what them do, Kirk. Here's what they did. Them run away. They run away, most away to go a foreign, right? Let me tell you something. Any Jamaican in this country who has the capacity to leave this country normally leaves. And the first ones to leave are those who we might consider the best and the brightest. And then what they try to do now is to keep the rest of us here as dum-dums, them dumb us down, and get us used to and comfortable. Even if you watch what happened, Micardo,
Yes.
notice how hard it is to unite the taxi driver them. You know why it's so hard to unite the taxi driver them? Because too many of them are intelligent enough to be united.
Right.
You understand me? You have to reason hard with them. You have to spend a whole heap of time. Look, no man, see this, no man, understand the thing, no man. Here is why we have to do this together. Because if we do this together, if all of we, yes, we know say go and try and make the extra money when the rest of it off of the road. But if all of we pull the service right now, all of we, and bring the country to a standstill, the government must respond. You know why? Because Jamaica cannot do without public transportation.
Right.
Most Jamaicans depend on public transportation for their children to go to school, to get to work. And so if we want changes in this country, believe it or not, taxi men hold the future of this country in their hands. If the taxi men and bus operators were to decide today that we want the good governance that UIC is talking about, we want a Jamaica that is designed to benefit we the people of Jamaica, as opposed to UNO, who control the two part of them and who run the two part of them. We want a Jamaica that benefits us. If every single or most taxi operators and bus operators decide to unite for good governance, nothing can stop with.
No, man, I told Miss Ramirez before, and I told her that if we should do, the UIC should do an all-out campaign, taxi operators see and understand what you guys are about, and it's for the betterment for us and the people in general. It's a great win for you guys.
Yeah.
It's
not even we, guys.
I'm telling you.
We the people. Because here's the thing I want everybody to understand. And I'm going to bring in Miss Kildare now on this one. Miss Kildare, get ready. Here's what I want every Jamaican to understand. The UIC is not a party like the other two parties. The UIC is yours. The two parties then belong to the PSOJ and the colonial masters. Remember that.
Right.
The two parties were created to get rid of Marcus Garvey. They were created to get rid of the Marcus Garvey party, and they were funded to keep us dumb and compliant.
Okay.
And that is why every single year they're going to get billions of dollars from the PSOJ and from their foreign masters to keep us where them have we. So some Jamaicans, because of how effective the trick has been, they have become PNP or JLP instead of Jamaicans. The UIC is inviting us to become Jamaicans again. Become Jamaicans again. So now the UIC is not a party where you're going to elect a bunch of guys who in a little clique, a little club, a little cult, where they're going to do certain things and whatever. When you elect the UIC, you're electing yourself. You're voting for a movement which is here now to give us good governance. For example, if we were like the other two parties, we would not want you to have a 100% publicly funded electoral system, because we don't want to still have that support from our backers so that we can get the money to win you over. The UIC want to give us a 100% publicly funded system whereby now the candidate is funded by the public through a system that allows big money to be cut out of the system altogether. You understand?
Okay.
So when we win and we change the system, a poor man will not be disadvantaged because he's poor to run for office, and a rich man will have no advantage because of his money. He's going to have to be in the same system. You understand? No party would ever do that in Jamaica, because they know when they're losing power. They're losing the power. The power, people, my people, the power of the current system comes from the PSOJ being able to tell you who to vote for. When the PSOJ give these two parties $330 million for 2 weeks or 3 weeks of election, when they give them that, it is to buy your vote, even if it's just to buy it through your senses, through you watching it on the TV and seeing
Yes.
this, or hearing the radio, the niceness, or getting the t-shirts and the cap and the motorcade to sway you. And then you say, but me not see the UIC. What the UIC there? You can't see the UIC. The UIC don't have the money to buy your eyes and your ears and your senses. We don't have the money unless you give it to us to go on TV and give you nice advertisement. And come have to buy it, you know. Notice the other two parties, free advertisement every day. Every day you turn on the TV, what do you see? JLP, PNP, JLP.
Vote for Labour, vote for this.
Yes. But every day, you know, the news, do you ever wake up and watch the news and it says, Jamaica has a problem. The government is talking about putting child safety seat in, and the taxi operators are concerned about it. What do you see next? Government, PNP. Government, PNP. You will never hear normally, oh, the UIC has a view on the matter. Here's the UIC view. If you have a fish kill, you hear JLP and PNP view. You never hear, oh, the UIC has a view. If somebody get killed, a massive murder, what do you hear? JLP and PNP. You never hear the UIC. So they are systematically keeping us away from you by making sure that they do not include us in the news cycle. And then you say, no, where's the UIC? Where's the UIC? You will never see the UIC because we will not have $330 million to buy airtime on TVJ and CVM and all the radio stations. Unless, of course, the diaspora and local Jamaicans were to fund us and we're able to do that. Now, let's get back to the main subject at hand. Ms. Kildare, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Good night to the platform.
Send to yourself, yes.
Good night.
I want to share something with you before so that you will realize the reason why this country is running how it is running.
Yes.
Right? I just want you to listen.
It
said, if you got more stubborn every time you have been corrected, one day you will crush and never recover. Show me a righteous ruler, I'll show you a happy people. Show me a wicked ruler, I'll show you a miserable nation. When the king is concerned with justice, the nation will be strong. But when he's only concerned with money, he will ruin the country. A good person knows the right of the poor, but a wicked person understands such things. People with no regard of others throw the city in turmoil. Those who wise keep it calm.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
When I go through this, I say Andrew Holiness.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And all the wickedness that he is doing.
Yes.
All the wickedness that he is doing. This scripture here point out to him. Right? He has no regard for people.
Mm-hmm.
He's a wicked ruler. And all of those things that these scriptures speak of. Very stubborn, because when you tell him anything, him not hear nothing.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's also very good at public relations.
He's just a bully type of leader and feel like what him say must go. He not have to notify the country about nothing because him alone living in the country and
he's a dictator. He's a dictator.
You see?
1 second.
And if we, the people of this country, don't take a stand, I must say real stand.
Mr. Romans, 1 second. Mr. Romans. Mr. Romans, you have to turn off that thing in your end. You're going to get the feedback. So turn off you're getting a feedback here. All right? So we have Mr. Romans on the call from, oh, I guess he's gone. Mr. Romans from Texas was calling. All right. So, Mr. McCarter, you had a point you were making a while ago. Go ahead.
I even lost my. I'll tell you so many things that I was thinking about a while ago. But I'm saying
You was saying something and you was saying he's a dictator.
Oh, okay.
He's a dictator. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that if what he's doing and people don't, this citizen of the country don't really take a good stand, everything him do, him go and get away with it. Right? We need to wake up.
Yes.
We can't sit down and make this commanders do what him feel free do, and then by daylight him push out everything. And people must keep quiet. We have to make our voice be heard. The whole entire country needs to come out.
Ms. Kildare, something concerns, and I'm going to come to you, Kirk. Something concerns me here. 1 second. Hi, Mr. Romans. Hello. Mr. Romans, you have to turn off the thing on. He goes again. Something concerned me here. I want to get your feedback on this from the four of you. What concerns me is, I know we're calling, persons call, what is happening here? Persons call the Prime Minister. I hate to use that phrase. Persons call Andrew Holness many names, like you've just called. You've said, evil, wicked, and so on. But I've heard this all before. We have been here before over the last 79 years where we have leaders and we eventually say they're wicked and so on. And what we did was swap them out for one of the other two. And it's a game they have gotten us to play. And the game has been, they punish us, they cause us to suffer, and then they get us to vote for the other side of the same coin. You understand?
I think it's because the people them never have a choice.
Yeah, but hold on.
It was only two of them, so they have to be playing upscotch with each other.
We have had choices. The first choice we had in the nation's history, the first choice we had was the Marcus Garvey People Political Party. The first.
But we never exist them the time, Mr. P.
Not me and you. We're talking about history now, because we have to look at the whole thing, right? The whole thing. You see, me and you is the history tomorrow. Yeah.
So how the righteous, see what them do, they shoot them down.
Now follow me for a second. Me and you today, we're the history tomorrow. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, our children and grandchildren will be talking and possibly having the same conversation where we today would have repeated what our parents did, and our parents would have repeated what their parents or our grandparents did. So I want us to take stock of it now and watch what happens. Because I'm going to trick we again. Right now, I'm tricking we again to become, we're going to become so upset with Andrew Holness. We just want to get him out. But what does that mean? We just want to get him out, and so we get him out by voting for Mark Rowland and the PNP. You understand? Because, the UIC not viable. The UIC not ready.
Not
Hold on. Sorry?
Not in this time. Not in this time.
Not right now. To tell you the truth, I'm going to be honest with you. I have never yet voted in my life.
Yes.
And I am ready to vote out JLP, and I'm not for PNP.
Yes. But here's what is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't do more than just voting or not voting, one of the two of them will still end up in office. If all of us were upset with the situation, all of us, this last time, 63% was upset with the situation. And so what did the 63% do? Them stay home. In the diaspora, there are about 4 million of us in the diaspora. And in diaspora, what did the diaspora do? Watch the game and play. They watch the game and say, who am I going to vote for now? And sometimes they say, them people are idiots, So if the person is PNP leaning and we voted JLP, they're an idiot, you know. If the person's JLP leaning and we voted PNP, they're an idiot, you know. Or if they're independent, they said, oh, them keep electing the same people. But what we're doing, we're excusing ourselves from the process. Me, I was a member of the diaspora, and may I watch where I go on to. And me have said to myself, but the longer me I watch it, it's still a go on. So we can watch it, you know, but it's still a go on. So the only way for it to change is if we stop just watch it and get involved in fixing it. So what I do, I come back to Jamaica and we start the UIC. And my philosophy is the only way we're going to change the system is if the next political movement is not so much a party, but a movement which is owned by the people. If it's not owned by the people, it might be one more of the two of them. If we're owned, if the UIC come and we're going to take money the same way like the other one them from some foreign masters and some local masters or, you know, oligarchs, guess what? Them control we too. So when we win, Mr. Mark Micardo, here what happened. We're winning up, we're trickling up. We're coming telling the nice things, nice ideas, nice this and where to change. But you know, say the money what we use to dazzle you, the money will allow us to have the motorcade across the country. The money will buy the armbands and the caps and the t-shirt. The money will buy the coat and the beer. The money will make you feel nice during the election time. That money must be paid back. Yeah.
And who gonna pay back?
Yeah, and so and plus dividends and interest. So when we take the money there from the same PSOJ people, PSOJ, you know, might say what? You know what? The people that get restless now, you know, this PNP, TLP thing now work no more now. Let me see if we can find a third one to push in there now. And say this is real change. Let's find the Obama of Jamaica. Let's find the black version now, whatever it is. You understand what they do to the US people, them, right? Every now and again, they bring change to them. Change you can believe in, change you, whatever. So let's find the equivalent now here and bring a little third thing in and nice them up and give them the money and let them go now and tell the people, change from them too, that them bad. Yeah, them bad. And vote for this one here now. And after we vote for them now, the people, but them not different. Are the same thing. And guess what? When the people say that no, they're the same thing, enough more turn off on the vote no more. And now they only have to buy 20% vote. They don't have to buy 30 or 40 or 50. They don't care. Right now, the PNP and JLP don't care about the 63% that don't vote. They don't care about them. All they have to do is to buy the 37%. And as that number shrink, because a lot of young people now, so I'm not going to do politics, I don't care. That's a foolishness. So young people just stay away, and then as the number gets smaller, so you have to buy a smaller amount. You understand? So what I'm trying to say to us is this. If we wanted to take back Jamaica, we're going to have to own the system. So it means, Miss Kildare, poor people like my mother, who worked so hard for Michael Manley when she was a poor single mother, I make minimum wage and I work hard for the PNP. Poor people have to come work hard for the UIC. I say, I feel part of this, and this time we're not going to make it sell out to no PSOJ and owned by no PSOJ or owned by no colonial master. What you say to that, Mr. Reynolds? Your time, you're not talking yet. Your time, Mr. Reynolds.
So good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Blessing.
Sir P, exactly what, because if you have one entity that rules all big problems, not only for the both parties, but for the whole country, because they're taking our rights slowly from us. We have no roads because they spend the money on they buy shirts, they buy you liquor, they buy you, they go during election time, they give you the best of everything. They use it to fund their election instead of fix road, the water system, schools. Taxi drivers have to parts that come into Jamaica to make it have to be imported. They tax you high goods at the wharf. So at the end of the day, just the rich will find the way every day. And that's exactly what's going on. How in the world can a taxi driver mercy? And who's going to be responsible for those cars? Who's going to buy them? The mothers that can't even feed their kids. Minimum wage is 9,000, so 12,000 or more. Who's going to buy them? So every day things get hard. They raise minimum tax.
Do you know, Mr. Reynolds, that if a taxi man see an old lady by the roadside carrying a small gas can, a 30 pound, how they sell it now? 30 pound, 50 pound, 100 pound, I said no?
And 25.
25.
25.
35.
And
so here's a grandmother. Here's a grandmother on the side of the road. She live alone, don't have any children to help her. And she go down a Santa Cruz, walk down the long road or so, and go buy a 35 pound gas cylinder, and she want to carry that home. Do you know that it's illegal for any taxi driver to carry her? You know that, right, Ricardo? You know that?
For the new law.
Yeah, it's illegal. And
Yes.
if you carry her and they stop him and find that she have the little 35 pound gasoline in the car, he's going to get a big fine. Yeah? And so guess what I have to do now? He must leave grandma
On the road.
And guess what now? That law that they're making, is a law for a first world country where only people drive car. You understand? Only people drive car. In Jamaica, most people don't drive the car. Most people depend on taxi to get from place to place. So if you make a law like that for a country like this, it's either you are very, 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 very callous and mean, or you are extremely detached from the realities of your country, or you want to extract money from the people by way of ticketing for doing what they have to do to help the people to survive. That's all.
That's true.
Well,
Jamaica don't have any law, you know. It's the colonial master rule and take putting on us out here. We don't have any law.
Yeah. So, Mr. Graham, what you said to that?
I agree with you. The people that are making the law right now, I believe that they are detached from the reality of Jamaica. But then again, Jamaica has always struggled to have an identity problem when it comes to, in this my opinion, come to our own citizen, to wherein we don't even take the time to realize what is going on around us and care. And we leave it for the other person and don't realize that it piles up and then falls into our lap back. A lot of times we see something happen to somebody and we go, oh, them stupid, them shouldn't do that. But then when something else happened that they consider to be something that we should do, we get upset. Ms. Patterson, I was listening to something which you said about history. And I go back to one of my greatest songs from Ziggy Marley, where he said, if you don't know your past, you won't know your future.
Amen.
Right? We need to reach out to our youth more. The youth have the knowledge to bring UIC to the next level. We keep on thinking of them and saying that they don't vote or they don't care or they don't have any kind of input in this. The person that's going to change stuff is going to be the younger generation. The person who needs
because the body devoted, you know.
The other ones that's doing the voting.
I'm still there. Once I get your turn.
Yeah, they're the ones that can do the legwork. They're the ones that know. I was reading one of the notations on the side. Someone said, why don't we use TikTok? I think UIC needs to really be recruiting younger. Get them, the people that knows how to do the computer, to be on the social platform, to where the name can be out there. when I'm in Jamaica and I say to people that I'm a part of UIC, I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about when I'm in Jamaica. And I'm in Jamaica every month. I get the same answer. What is UIC?
Kurt,
So
hold on. Back up a second, because I hear the same thing all the time. Let's break this down practically. Let's be very practical.
Yes, sir.
How do you get the youth? Where do to get the youth? To get the
It's the person. I think that one of the best way to get the youth is for us to start doing some kind of educational platform.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry about that. My internet just blew up. But what you're
You need the
what
youth
you're saying
to fix
makes
that.
what you're saying makes perfect sense, but it's missing. There are some wheels that are missing from the cart. Some very important wheels missing from the cart. And here's how it works, right? Let's be very practical now. For you to run an organization, can you hear me? So you're all frozen on the screen. Okay. For you to run an organization, you need two things. You need human capital and you need financial capital. You cannot run any organization without those two things. Now, normally when you start an organization, it's a small group of persons combining their human capital and some financial capital. Now, for you to scale, you need to scale in the same way. You have to increase human capital and increase financial capital. If you don't increase your finance, so for example, let's say you want to get some youth to do something. Who are these youth? Most of the youth that you're going to reach are in two groups. One of them are going to be youth who needs a whole heap of help. Their brains are disconnected and they're in disarray, so they need serious help and attention to get into any kind of productive mode. Those who are more capable and able are very focused on their studies in school, and they're going to be managed by their parents. So they're going to be more attached to their parents, good parents, who are going to tell them where they need to spend their energy and time and cordon them off accordingly. But let's say you're able to poach a few of them and get them involved. Where will they go? What is the infrastructure that they're working with? Who pays for that infrastructure? Because they can't pay for it. So they have to be in it. They have to be in the space or in the whole process. So there's more to it. I know we talk about these things and we talk about them generally, but there's a lot more. The UIC is ready to take off, but we cannot take off without a large number. And when I say large, I mean less than 3% of the diaspora. Less than, right now, if we have 1,000 persons in the diaspora giving $25 a month, the UIC has enough money to win the election. That's just 25,000 US a month. We have it, as small as that is, it will significantly combat the big number. We don't have that. When you have an organization operating on roughly $5 million Jamaican dollars for an entire year, that's ridiculous. That $5 million is just one amount of money you need to pay a salary in order to produce good work for the movement. So we can say the UIC need to do this and need to do that. What we have to do, we have to fund the UIC to be able to do the things. Otherwise, who is going to do it? Which of us? I mean, I do a lot. I give like tons of times and hours, and there are a few others who do the same thing or similar. But who is going to do all of the work to get all the, as it is right now? Let me give you an example. Right now, who is going to make sure the audit is done for the UIC? Who makes sure that the financials are done properly, that the audit is done, organizing with the auditors, paperwork, all this stuff? Who makes sure our filings with the ECJ are done, our continuance document, our annual report and stuff? Who gets all of these things done? Who makes sure every month there's bank reconciliations and all the stuff that must be done? These are all back-end stuff that you don't see. Who does it? If we don't have the capacity to pay people, the limited amount of volunteers we have, they have to go to work and they have to try to find time to do all of this stuff. The other two parties don't have to worry about that. They have offices and staff in every single constituency. So we have to become realistic, man, and stop having these very high expectations of the UIC and not place high expectations on ourselves. We, the people, the UIC shouldn't be suffering so. By now, we should have $300 million from us, we the people. Instead, for 2022, we got $5 million from the people. $5 million over 1 year. That's what the other parties spend in 1 minute, 1 day. You understand me? So we have to, let's stop talking about what the UIC needs to do and ask the question, how do we empower the UIC to do what we need it to do? We can't expect a few people to continue to do the magnificent amount of work that we have done, day in, day out, with limited resources. At some point, we're going to break, and they're looking forward to that. That's why they keep delaying the elections. In 2021 or early 2022, they delayed the elections for the local government because we were getting too much traction. Sorry, where are you guys? Are you there? So I'm not even seeing you now. I'm not. But let me do a quick mic check. Kirk, are you there? Kirk, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, Damien, you there? Damien?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ricardo?
Yeah, I'm here. Seeing it very clear too.
Yeah, I'm not. You guys are all frozen on my end, so I'm not too sure what's happening there. But the point I'm making is this, in summary, because I want to get back on track here. We have to be, I want us to become intelligent, very, very intelligent about what it takes to build a political party, what it takes for the UIC to win. It won't win by miracle or machine. Ask yourself the question, who it is that's going to reach the youth? What does it mean to reach the youth? It means you have to get down there and, you know, which person will have the time to get down there to reach enough youth and to cuddle them, to bring them together, to train them, to guide them, to bring out the best in them in the process. All of that, my friends, take money. And the UIC decided on a model, which is let the party be owned by the people. And the moment we get that model through our head and own this movement, not just wish for it and hope for it until we vote for it, but own it. And if we own it now, by funding it and becoming a part of it, the DNA of it, nobody can stop it.
Can I say something, Mr. Patterson?
Please go ahead.
I have a little solution and a little planning because I have this song that went viral. Give me more time to pay attention to them because it's such a big fight. Give me more time. Government are going like how the worst crime. Give me more time. We get back a dime. Give me more time. I want to cause a rise in a crime. That song, I have the official for it. I am going to campaign in the 14 parishes on all the taxi stands.
Yes.
You just gave me an idea, but what I need to know, every taximan now is not with the government. I'm sure of it. I am very sure of it. With me having that song that's defending them, right? I am promoting the song while I could promote UIC, but I want to know what I could do specifically to those individuals to really get them on board. Like, what do I do? I give them a card, I take their number. What do I do?
Okay, good. So we give them a number, and in fact, you get their number and give it to us. So there's Naika who's on the call right here. You know, our main number here. This number here that I'm going to put on screen. 293 and 1 second here. I want to get you the other number as well. Naika, can you help me out? Put the number on screen, the other number on screen, the one that you man normally. So everybody you put them in that funnel, and then we will make sure that they get the relevant information. 471-6598. You put them in that funnel, and we will make sure that they get the necessary information. Now, you can do me a favor, please. Get Mr. Romans on the screen here if possible. He's calling in, but it's not working properly. I don't know why. And stuff. So, Ricardo, if you can just link that number you see on screen, and you can get anybody you get, put them into that number, and we will make sure they get follow-up information and stuff. I love the song, by the way, and I want us to get a copy.
And maybe you could group group. You could give them a group, so all of them you put them in that batch.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, we'll work on it. Go ahead.
And I also have a part, it just stop there. I have a part 2 for it. What I'm saying, baby seat in a car, that now go work. The government just a grab that, now go work. The poor can't get no job, that now go work. That now go work. That now go work. The new traffic act, that now go work. It's a taxi man chop, that now go work. And we want people back, that now go work. Listen now. Too much focus on taxi, non-pan crime. Mr. Prime Minister, please just resign. From in power, the country decline. While in the home, relax and recline. And nature know the lie speak from your mind. Cause only bird, I show you a sign. Disturb your speech when you speak every time. Won't lose the money, I'll know it not fine. Make sure say you know part of the crime. We need a change. We need a change. We need a change right now. Baby seat in a cabin. Now go work. Yeah, man. So 8 now 5 next.
Excellent. Thank you for that. You know, I believe somebody says music now to work, but music work. Music is powerful. Very, very powerful. So we have to use all the tools at our disposal. And I believe right now, Ricardo, everybody on this call, we need to make sure that we fully connect with our taximen and bus drivers.
Yes.
And make sure that they understand that this UIC belongs to them. This is their avenue for having a public transportation policy that is going to protect the interest of all Jamaicans, including the public transport operators. Very important. So that's our next mission now, Mr. Ricardo. All of us, we're going to rally our taxi and bus operators and get them all on side. Not all, we're not going to get all, but get a majority of them.
We're going to be in Aperture with them tomorrow, you know, sir.
Sorry, say that again.
We're going to be in Aperture tomorrow with them.
Yeah, man, we're going to be in Half a Tree tomorrow. So I will be in Half a Tree tomorrow. Miss Kildare and others will be in Half a Tree tomorrow and Wednesday as well. So so you'll see us in Half a Tree Square for sure. So I'll run into a few of you on that. All right, let's take some comments now from the audience who are writing in. Ricardo is asking, Ricardo, you have your UIC shirt?
No, Ricardo. That's what I need. I need a shirt.
Oh yeah, you don't have a shirt. All right. Miss Naika Williams, please make a note and get that done for me through. In fact, we'll have a shirt for you tomorrow. What are you, medium, right? You look like a medium.
No, I'm about a big man, a large, extra large stuff.
I saw you outside. You don't look like the extra large, but no problem. We'll bring a medium and an extra large so you can see which one fit. All right.
Sir.
Yes.
Like,
go ahead. Go ahead.
For the gentleman that is working with the taxi driver, is to try to convince a few of them to donate dollars to UIC.
Donate what? Sorry, I didn't hear that. Donate what?
Don't make a donation.
A donation?
To make a.
Yeah, he's breaking up. I can't hear the full sentence.
Does the UIC have a GoFundMe page?
We have a I'm hesitating because we had a GoFundMe page and we still do to some degree, but GoFundMe lock us down. I guess because they classify us as anti-vax, so they locked us down. But we don't need a GoFundMe page, you know. We have a UIC website where anybody can donate from. So you go on our website.
But where does
Go ahead.
someone know how? Okay, like I don't know the websites to donate, and I think most people, ones that are online right now, watching you and listening to this, and I'm reading a lot of comments. I don't think that there's anywhere where they actually know where to go to
Yeah,
donate.
man. I mean, most people know.
So can we put that
UICJamaica.com. It's
on
right
the
there
I
on the
mean, can
screen.
we keep it on the screen as to where, while they're watching
Yeah,
this
man.
and so forth, to know where to go?
Yeah, man, it's there. And you know, normally on most programs we highlight the UIC domain, but just go to UICJamaica.com and you will find that you can donate online, and there are other options as well. And if you ever have any problem, Naika, put back what we had before. Just reach out to the numbers you see on the screen. Anybody who wants to donate, because we have people, you know, who people are old school and they can't do the online donation thing, so they just link the number and they send by Western Union, some send by Zelle, some send by Cash App, some. So there are all kind of different things people are doing to get through to us. But yeah, you know, I'm trying to look at some of the comments here in the box. Do we have any questions, Naika, in the comments, or important comments that we want to share with our viewers?
I saw a comment saying I should have the shirt while voicing the song. That's a good idea.
Yes.
Or while doing the song.
Absolutely. Why aren't more people in the diaspora alarmed to the serious situation of Jamaica? The ability to hear about Jamaica's dire situation is very available in the diaspora. Yeah, man, the diaspora is very informed, very, very informed about what's happening in Jamaica generally. I find that, unfortunately, some in the diaspora have given up on Jamaica, which is very sad. So they don't see any hope for Jamaica. But we know that there is hope, and we are not giving up. And we're hoping that by us standing up, they will be encouraged and inclined to not give up and to join us in the fight to rescue our country. One of the reasons I came back to Jamaica when I did in 2011 was that I thought to myself, as much as I like Canada, enjoy Canada, and I think at least when I was there, it was a great country to live in. What happened if somehow I have to come back to my country? Something just happened and things change. You know, there's a time, for example, when we had a sniper in the US and he was connected with Jamaica. And so when that came up, people, being Jamaican was a pariah. I think it was also in one of the world wars. If you were like a Japanese or whatever, you'd be a pariah. And there are also in other moments in history where certain ethnic groups in a society are considered, you know, anathema, you know, like the Jews in Germany and so on. So there's one place where I know I fully belong. Nobody can tell me if I left this. Yeah, even though we're beginning to lose that. You know, right now, if you are a Jamaican and you're coming back from foreign, the government give you 6 months and say you have 6 months to stay in your country, you have to go back. You understand? So I wanted to come back here and secure my country. I wanted to have this be my country. I might be a Canadian, I might be able to go to Canada, I can live there if I want to, but this is my country. I want to defend this country and make this country safe and stable and available for me and my fellow Jamaicans. So that's what inspired me to make sure that I'm doing what I can. My friends ask me, they say, what's wrong with you? I have friends who are doing very well in Canada and the US. And like, what's wrong with you, Joseph? I mean, where you want to go? Go back to the sofa. You know, you can just stay over here and enjoy all the stuff that we have here in Canada or the US to enjoy. You know, just you know, you don't want to go back and put yourself at risk in another country and so on. But I think we can do better. I know we can do better. I'm hoping we'll rise to the challenge. Yeah. Any more comments, Naika, you can share with us? Or a question? Do you set up with the union now, Mr. Patterson? You said no, as if we were planning one. No, we don't. We're not established with any unions. We have not set up a union, and we're not connected with any unions. We are a political movement at the moment. Next one, Ms. Williams. Can the UIC guarantee these taxmen for a change, please? We need a change now from this destructive government. The UIC can fully and unequivocally guarantee the taxmen that they will have a public transportation policy that is sane, sensible, and which is in the best interest of all Jamaicans, including the taxi operators, and that they will be a part of the process of establishing such policies. It will be a policy that ensures we have safe, clean, orderly, accessible, and affordable public transportation across the country. It will be one that is designed to ensure that to be in the taxi business, you can feed your family comfortably. Yeah. And at the same time, citizens can get to where they need to get to safely and in a very respectful and responsible way. Okay. All right. Next question or comment.
Just a minute.
And my panel, feel free to raise your hand if you want to make a comment on anything. Just let me know.
I would like to say something, sir.
Go right ahead, Ms. Gilder.
Do we have stickers that we can give to these taxi drivers that they could put on their car?
No, we don't. We don't have anything. We have everything we need. We have to pay for it. So if we want to do sticker, we can say, yes, let's do stickers. I know we have to raise the money and pay for it.
How much to do the stickers?
I have no idea. We'd have to research that, right? We would have to now go and find out what is the price of stickers and who is the producer and order them from them and and pay for them. So that's an operational question, right? Internally, that would have to work out operationally. But it would be lovely to have stickers on all the taxis.
Like how we can do the flyer. Could
yes.
Show me the design sticker and send it to my phone, and then I'll get the sticker then.
Okay, thank you. So the purpose to UIC, it says here, purpose to UIC isn't the government in power. They can do more with our help. All right, I'm not sure. Can anybody help me with this one? I'm not sure if I'm reading it correctly. The bottom line is we need more donations. Thank you very much, Queenie. Much appreciated. Next comment or question. When will you have part 2 interview with Andre Stevens as promised? Well, I did not promise you a part 2, I was invited on this program for an interview. I graciously accepted the program and I have not been invited back since. So if people are asking that on his platform, then it's up to him. I do not control his platform, so it will be up to him whether or not he wants to invite me back on his platform. The last time I was there, though, I think we had a very warm reception. The response was very positive from the viewers, and while it was a pretty tense situation at times, I think the exchange went very well in terms of the viewers' understanding of the UIC and what we stand for. All right, let's get some comments from our panels again. Mr. Romans is here. I didn't know that. Welcome, Mr. Romans. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm here.
I see you wearing a UIC shirt.
I am. When I got my shirt, and I'm so proud of it.
Absolutely.
I spoke with Kurt this morning, and I get to see him now in person.
Okay.
Kurt, welcome.
Hey, what's going on?
What is it?
Yes.
What is it you and Kurt down there planning for us now?
We are putting some good ideas together, and we're gonna get him connected, and we're gonna make things happen. He has some great ideas. Very passionate about the movement, like myself, and we're just We just want to have this movement move forward. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Pure illusion says Patterson always hide behind the computer and shy away from the public. Is that true? That I hide away from the public? I wish that was true. That I hide away from the public. That I shy away from the public. I guess I was shying away when they arrest me. Eh? When the police them come and grab me and lock me up, I was behind my computer screen. Every month when I have to go to police.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is you're going to receive criticism regardless, so that's a great thing. Whenever you receive a criticism, welcome it. As a party, and I know that in different areas we have different people running for office. Does UIC at the moment have a polling that shows where some of these people stand, and if there's any strong support in certain areas of Jamaica for certain individual? And if so, why are we not really putting some kind of resource behind those people to at least guarantee that we at least have 1 or 2 seats in parliament, to where even if we don't win the prime ministerial election, but we have a voice already there, so at least as a next future election come, people can know who UIC is. All I'm saying is putting some kind of support behind our strongest candidate in the strongest communities that we have at the moment.
Yeah, Queenie just answered the question for you. So we were okay. We have something called a debates commission in Jamaica. A debates commission. Yes. This is a group of guys who are owned and operated by the PSOJ, by the way, that decides who can get into the debate forum. And the rules for getting into the debate forum, one of the rules is that you have to commission a poll, and you have to get at least, I think it was 5% or 7%, something there, in order to qualify to be in their debates. So we went and looked into that. The cost of doing the poll was approximately $3 million. Remember, I'm going to tell you, we only get $5 billion for the year. So the cost of doing the poll was $3 million. Does that answer your question?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, we are running for an election. Yeah. So we have to be able to get on a stage to debate. All I'm saying is there one area, let's just say we have one area, St. Mary, for example, where we see where one particular candidate in the UIC is doing strong. Isn't it makes more sense?
Listen. I understand the question. It's a very basic question. I fully understand it. Yeah. I'm just now giving you an honest reply, and the reply nullifies the rest of your question, because here's the problem. If we can't pay $3 million to do a polling, we can't have the data that you're asking for. We can have a hunch, we can have a feeling, we can have an impression, but we would not have the data that you just asked us to have. But your point is quite valid. The point is running a poll, figuring out where you have the greatest chance of winning, circling the wagons and narrowing your investment in the areas that makes the greatest sense so you can get the best outcome. And as you said, you're setting yourself up for the next election cycle if you do well. So I fully understand. I'm not as dunce as I look. But there's still the basic problem here. The basic problem is you guys, right? I'm gonna say you guys now, because we give everything we can get ready. Now you guys only gave us $5 million and a poll cost $3 million. I want, and people don't like this part of the conversation occurred. Most Jamaicans at this point, they want to turn off the channel and go somewhere else. Because what they want, they love the soap opera. So let's talk about SSL, and let's now go through the list of who did what, when, where, and how, and take us down that and talk all night about whether the girl wicked or not, and who thieved the money and this, and we can talk about that all night. At the end of it, there will be an election, and what we thought bad about will be re-elected. So all the people out there who are spending whole heap of hours at night time, I watch the soap opera back and forth, and who get letter and what letter, and whether the FSC knew this or didn't know that, or whether the management was seeking to company or not, or whether the Minister of Finance said this or not, or whether the Prime Minister to get money out of it for this or not. None of that matters when the next election comes and there's no alternative on the ballot for the people. And if there's even a name on the ballot, if you even have Joseph Patterson on the ballot of Northeast St. Elizabeth, but the other two parties spend $16 million each in the constituency, and Joseph Patterson spent $1 million or 500,000 or nothing, him now win. He's not going to win, people. No matter all the talk, we can say, go out there more, Mr. Patterson, go out there more, go out there for what? Without gas, without food, without water. Go out there for what? I'm being straight enough because I don't want to fool you up. I don't want to give the impression, not you. You guys here, you understand everything, but there are many people out there. I want all of us to understand what is at stake and what we have to do here. If we don't do like Mr. Romans, if Mr. Romans him look quiet and nice, him busy and raise money for the UIC every day. He might try to get a 25 or 50 here. And if we had 1,000 of Mr. Keith Romans, everything done, problem solved. If we have 1,000 of him, honestly, if we had 1,000 persons like Uncle Keith, that's what him have on there. He's a Roman, but if we have Uncle Keith. If we had 1,000 Uncle Keith, the UIC would be doing everything you want, Kirk. All the stuff you're talking about, you would see us in all 14 parishes, all 63 constituencies, all 228 divisions. You would see a visible impression of the UIC there. But we can't do it. I cannot, if we drive my vehicle and go to Kingston one time for one event, that's what some people get for their salary for the entire month. We just drive one time to Kingston. That's what some people get for the entire month. I went up to Marcus Garvey School the other day to do one little speech. To get to the school, it took me 4 hours. And to get home, it took me 4 hours, plus the gas and the time I'm at the school. Sorry, 3 hours each. Now just imagine how much man hours that is. Now, so when you see Andrew Olness walking around and cutting ribbons and doing nice things, you paying for it. The taxpayers pay for all of it. When you see Mark Golding walking around, bobbing around like Santa Claus, who's paying for it? The taxpayers paying for it. And then the extra money comes from the PSOJ oligarchy. So they get money from the taxpayers. Mr. Olness get a salary every month from you, the taxpayer. Mr. Mark Golding get a salary every month from you, the taxpayer. And then they get a little money from the PSOJ on the side too. And then in part they get money from the PSOJ. And they get some money from the colonial powers as well. So all of that is what we're up against.
And I understand that, Mr. Patterson. My question that I'm trying to figure out right now is, okay, so we know the obstacles that are there against us. We know it. What is the plan for the UIC to get the donations that we need? What is you have a committee for donations and so forth. But what is the work? Because you cannot keep on saying that this is the obstacles. We have to have logical solution as to what is going to move us forward. Move us forward. Because this election is going to come and pass, and we're going to be having the same problem on the next election.
Hold on. Remember, the UIC has progressed. While people are still saying that how much people don't know about the UIC, whole heap of people know about the UIC now that didn't know about it last year. And last year, whole heap of people know about it that didn't know about it the year before. So every year, in even donations, our donations have gone from 1 million to 3 million to now 5 million. It's slow, very slow. We now need to just accelerate it. So guess what happened? A person like you now, Kirk, come and say, may I volunteer? Put me on the fundraising committee or whichever committee, whatever committee that makes sense. And for example, we have a young lady right now, Miss Christine Simpson-Mensah, powerful. She's our newest director of fundraising and donor engagement. And she's the best we have ever had in that role. You understand? Somebody say I should resign if I can't, if I can't raise. That's fine. The UIC is an open movement. Any one of you can run for president. Any member can join the movement and just run. Just come in and say, listen, we can do a much better job than Mr. Patterson, and we're more than happy to entertain you. Or any other position, you think you can be a better chairman, you can be a better treasurer, you can be a better vice president. Come in, man. We have elections coming up. Seriously, very serious. We have elections coming up. See it here? I'm putting it on screen. We have elections on the 26th of March, 2023 coming up. And it says, get your membership today to attend and vote at our next AMC, online or in person. Pay your dues, or paying your dues allow you to run and vote for president, vice president, chairman, general secretary, and treasurer of the UIC on March 2026. So don't miss it. If you believe that you are able and capable, join the movement, pay your dues, and come in and help. I see Mr. Roman's trying to get back in here. Right? Because yes, there might be somebody better than me as president. There's no doubt about that. So if someone is out there who think they could be a better president, please come in and quickly demonstrate your competence so the members can vote for you. Or if you want to be vice president or treasurer, we're not afraid of that. We're a very open and transparent and inclusive organization. Yeah? We want the best for Jamaica. And the best for Jamaica doesn't mean Joseph Patterson. It means persons who are committed to righting the wrongs of the current system. I am willing to offer myself. I am willing to participate. But if somebody better than me come, please, by all means, show yourself. All right. Mr. Graham, I know I was a bit rough, but anything else?
Oh, no, you're good, man. You're good. I mean, you get asked the questions and you're answering the question as honestly as you can, and that's what I'm looking for.
Right. So here's a good question.
Honest answers.
Yeah. Here's a good question. Junie says, Mr. Patterson, if you should be the next prime minister, who is going to fund your traveling? I'm not sure where the question is coming from, but I'll tell you who's going to fund my traveling for the government purposes. The people of Jamaica would fund my traveling if I'm traveling for government purposes. If I'm going on a vacation with my wife and my children, then that's my pocket. It won't be anybody from the PSOJ funding it. So again, if it's government business, the taxpayers pay for it. If it's my personal leisure and pleasure, me pay for it. Make sense? All right.
Do we have any big donors that has tried to donate to the UIC? And I understand what you say about it's independent, run by the people and so forth. But are there big donors that have tried to donate to the UIC?
If they're big donors, we had at least 2 situations where we were approached by persons who are significant donor potential. And in both cases, it was contrary to our policy in terms of, what they wanted in exchange for that kind of support. One was quite values driven. That would have been quite unhealthy, for sure. And in fact, they didn't come up front. They joined the organization first. This was in the early stages. This was back in 2014. It's a long time I'm working on this. So we had an angel. We didn't know at the first because they just joined like how you would join. They joined and then they were getting numerous. And then, which is fine. We didn't know that it was even there because you didn't know who is connected with who. That's how they come in. And then now they start trying to change.
Someone is asking that you put up the phone number for the UIC, please? Can we please
Sure.
keep it on the screen along with the
Yeah,
donation?
we can't keep it on the
Yeah.
screen for various reasons, but
As
put it
much,
up,
yeah.
put it up for me again, Miss Naiko. But so when by the time we discovered what was going on, we actually almost lost the organization back then, and that was in 2014-15. And then we recover. Just like the other day in 2022, you had another infiltration, and then they try again to break us up, and we recover. And so these are all a part of the game. Now, somebody here is saying, Mr. Patterson, no, I missed it. There's one about money where they were saying I talk too much about money or what the other parties, got. That's a very important comment. Can you get that one from me, Naiko? The one where somebody was saying I'm too focused on the money that the other parties get. I know you don't want me to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. Them get $330 million in the last election to buy a vote. I'm going to talk about it. Mr. Romans, if you have something to say, sir.
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to make a comment on what
Yes.
my dear friend Kirk had just asked. And of course, everything kind of tie up in the same thing. It actually answers the question that person had up by saying you're behind the computer. Because the thing about it is that if you had people to do that job, then they wouldn't be, you would be more out there, right?
Absolutely.
And not only that, but those people that we have, if they're more bold to say, you know what, I'm going to go on the road. It's a great breath of fresh air when Kirk and I see people, representative there locally, go out on the road and take questions and answer questions on behalf of the UIC, because the UIC is not just about Mr. Patterson. It is a doctrine that everybody, if we bring that doctrine to the public, it is something that every reasonable person should really hang on to and would have a great appreciation for. So I mean, me and Kirk, we know that if we have people out there who can be more visible, just like, and then they invite you, just like what the others do, then you would make time and go and join them, in your time. But not only that, everything's still tied back with the income, with the revenue, everything. And
everything ties. And I want us,
and I spoke with Kurt this morning. I told him that I was going to ask your permission to get him on the fundraising committee because he's like a gem. And we have our meeting tomorrow night, Kirk. We're going to have you come on in and join.
And by the way, let me just correct something, Mr. Romans.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not even my permission for him to be on the committee. Remember the way we do it. No problem. I know you just, you're being nice to me. But Mr. Graham, the way we make decision is you're interviewed by a panel, a recommendation is made, and then a vote is taken. So I am not the dictator in chief in the UIC. I am, let's be honest, I am highly regarded and highly respected in the movement, and I thank you all and I appreciate that. But I try my best to make sure that we run a very transparent and democratic process within the UIC. So I do not seek to mandate anything. No, I will challenge you hard, and sometimes people can't take that. So for example, if I'm in a meeting with you, Kirk, and we're having a talk, and you're in a committee, you might see where at the end of the day, the committee agrees with me, but it might be only because I will aggressively defend my point. You understand me? So you can't come and just say a nice thing like, oh, maybe we should go to Mars. And I just say yes. I'm going to say, okay, Mars, why? What will it cost for us to get to Mars? What is the practical steps to get us to Mars? What are we giving up in our pursuit of going to Mars? What are the opportunity costs that we're losing here? And so on. And then now you might back off. You might shy away and don't want to have confrontation because you don't want to deal with it. No, that's your problem. You lose. But I am going to effectively assert my knowledge and my understanding, and it's for you now to do the same, and in the process we'll come to a conclusion. Now, I welcome that from you. I want a committee where you have 5 of us around the table, and the five of us give the group the full benefit of our intellectual stamina. You follow me? And if all five of us give it our full intellectual stamina, we might end up with something better than any one of the five of us.
Absolutely.
That's called getting a mastermind principle, where the mastermind is bigger than the mind of anyone. But sometimes people are afraid of that kind of interaction, so they become intimidated by me and they call me a dictator. Simply because me I go rough it out, me I go fight with you in the jungle and understand the issues. I want to get to the nitty gritty, not just it's so nice. Let's have a bake sale. Like some people say, let's have a bake sale. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? How many cakes will you sell? Okay, if you're going to make $1 million, you have to sell 1,000 cakes. The cost per cake is going to be 2,500. The net of that is 1,000. Then your labor cost is going to be 900,000. So you're really going to only make 100,000 on this for the entire effort of working for one whole year of labor time to make it. No, that's the kind of analysis I'm going to bring. Many Jamaicans are not comfortable with math, so they're going to back off. And they're not comfortable with analysis, so they're going to back off. But then they're going to go away now and sus. I'm going to like him, I'm going to like him, I'm going to shoot him ideas, so, and whatever. No, we need to get over that and learn to start having deep intellectual talk and discussions and analysis so we can make good and quality decisions that's going to impact people's lives in a positive way, rather than making gut feeling, emotionally feeling, nice feeling decisions. We need to be tough and rugged, and that's why we're getting such bad results. Our politicians here just do cut and paste. The white man tell them, here's a law to get put in a Jamaica, they just come and drop it, bam. That's why for years, ganja is illegal, and them lock up all of our young people them and destroy them life because ganja is illegal. The white man tell us homosexuality is bad, and we put it in our books and we put it there, and then the white man come now and say, time to take it out, and we in a problem because we never come to our decisions on our own. We never understand the thing on our own. The UIC said, no, let's build a constitution that is Jamaican, that we design, that for our purposes, and we understand it, and our constitution must be rooted in respecting the life, liberty, and property rights of all persons, must be rooted in a unifying system rather than a divisive partisan system, must be rooted in grassroots, bottom-up economics rather than top-down, trickle-down economics, that must be rooted in an healthcare system that respects and embraces our indigenous knowledge and our plants and our herbs and our people thinking outside the box of the colonial masters' medical system. That's the UIC principle. We want to reinvent ourselves by rediscovering ourselves and connecting with our roots and our history and our people and becoming truly black again.
Do you have, Mr. I'm not trying. Sorry, I just had a fast question. Do you have any affiliates with the any kind of interaction with the local entertainers that are in Jamaica? Are you speaking to any of them?
Yeah. I have sat down, for example, if you look on our system, it's an interview I did with Tanya Stevens. Okay. And I've also done a lovely interview with oh my goodness. I forgot his name. I have also been in touch with Bigoton and all of them people that, we have, and Butcher Banton and I should have spoken a long time ago, but I don't know why we keep going around in a circle. But yeah,
So are we using? Oh,
just one sec. Hello, good evening. Who am I speaking with? This is UIC Jamaica. Hello. All right, the connection is very bad here. We can't hear you. We cannot hear you. So sorry. Try again. Go ahead, Mr. Graham.
Are we can you use those people a little bit more to really push the UIC?
No, we can't use them. We can only work with them if they decide to work with us.
Yeah, so but I mean, speaking to them to see if they could, if that's something, if they're on board with the philosophy.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I am probably being too facetious. One second again. Sorry. Hold it. We have to answer that question. Hello, good night. This is Joseph Patterson, UIC Jamaica. Yeah, man, walk on. Could you turn off your turn off your
I'm listening to your to the show tonight, and I believe that things can be done by picking a single project and working in that project and highlighting that project on the social media pages.
Sure. You know, you're muted. We can't hear you. Hello.
I said you're a different type of organization. You
No,
want to get to the people, not to the government.
No, I'm just asking you if you know of any, just so I can then follow up with an answer.
No, I am not aware of any.
Right. So here's the answer, and I fully understand where you're coming from. But before I answer, let me get an example. Give me an example of a project you'd like us to. Do you think we could do that would meet the kind of expectations you're identifying? Give me an example of the project.
For example, in Heroes Day, I went to the Heroes Circle, and I was expecting to see the UIC representative there. That would have been a good place. Another one is this is the Black History Month, and I think if the UIC were to lay a wreath at Garvey's monument and publicize that would be another way of putting the UIC out
All
there
right.
in public.
Good, thank you. Let's look at those, because I thought you were talking about something bigger. So it's a good thing I didn't answer you up front, right? All right, so let's talk about the Era Circle or the wreath at Garvey's, which is not a problem to do. That's fine. That's good. What would be the publicity out of that? Not that it's a bad idea, but what would be the publicity? TVJ would not be there, CVM would not be there, because they don't carry any of our activities, generally speaking. Unless it's turning out poorly, if they see that it's turning out poorly. So, for example, let's say we're laying a wreath and only one person showed up, then they might do a report and say UIC was laying a wreath and only one person showed up, for example. So it might be very negative publicity. So anything we do that's productive, that is useful, the media does not cover it normally. But it's not a bad idea that you're saying, right? I'm just trying to tell you that it may not.
What I'm saying is, you have the UIC TV, you have all these other bloggers, because I'm retired, so I spend a lot of time listening to bloggers.
Okay.
And those are the things that you could invite them to highlight for you.
Okay. All right. And by the way, we have connected with all the bloggers. I've been on Unstoppable. I've been on Cardus. I've been on Wayne Lonesome. I've been on others. I can't even remember their names right now. So I've been on many of them. But you can also follow up with them and they don't respond to you, right? They just decide not to follow. But I appreciate what you're saying, but it's sometimes not as simple as it may appear. For example, I won't make any more names, but persons have been bawling out to many bloggers to say, carry the UIC, invite back the UIC, and they invite us once. What they invite us to went very, very well. You go back and look at the comments, you look at the views, it's very, very well. And then there's no second invitation. Now, we cannot force them to do it, but I'm just telling you, you would see the results. If, for example, if I had a program and I invite you on it, and when you come on, my audience are saying, wow, I love this. I'd love to hear part 2. Now, if I value my viewers, I would then get you back on for a part 2 if I value my viewers, right?
Just yesterday, though, I heard 2 different bloggers saying that they're willing to carry you, but you have to reach out to them because it's their platform. They're not going to reach out.
That is, I won't say no. That is actually fill in the blanks for me. That is really ridiculous. If you are running a blog, you're trying to get viewership. You're trying to satisfy your customers. And if your customers are saying they would like to hear from somebody, and you're running a vlog, what do? You reach out to the somebody. You don't sit there and say, I'm waiting for the somebody to reach out to me. My team have reached out to a number of vloggers, but you don't sit there and say, I'm waiting for the vloggers. I'm waiting for the person Many of them, for example, are they waiting for Andrew Holness to come to them? They said, oh, we wish we could get him, but we're not getting him.
Mr. Patterson, I gotta disagree
Yeah.
with you on this one. I really have to. I have to agree with
All
him.
right, hold on.
UIC has done a great job so far, but I think it's time to go to the next step when you're
Sure.
ready.
Well, I'm ready to go to the next step. Are you ready to help us to get to the next step?
Well, what is the next step for me as an individual?
The next step for you as an individual is join, volunteer, and donate. I'm not sure which of them you've done yet.
I've been doing all of them for over a year.
Perfect. What's your name, sir?
Pardon me?
What's your name? Sorry.
I have two different connection with you. One is N. Smith and the other one is N.C. Smith.
Okay, I believe I have seen that name for sure. So let me just say this publicly. Thank you very, very much for being one of our 200 donors last year.
And if he can reach out to those bloggers on our behalf, then
yes.
I'm sure.
Another thing is that I see some of the comments that you might have missed is some. I talk to people instead of volunteering. They say when they call a number, no one is getting back to them.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. As I said, I'm really sorry about that. I can't say why you're not getting an answer. We do have, we have dedicated staff that is answering the phones. I do know they get a number of calls throughout the day. So, and sometimes when one person calls, they sit on the phone for 1 hour. So it's kind of difficult sometimes. So, but I'm sorry about that, and forgive us. We don't have a lot of staffing support to be able to take all the calls, but we do try, and I will continue to encourage the staff to try to get back to everyone. So my sincere apologies.
I'll continue to encourage others to reach out and support as much as I can myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. Mr. Graham, you were trying to say something earlier when we were talking.
Yeah, I was listening to what you say, and I think that a lot of points that he make is correct, but I really do believe that you, Mr. Patterson, needs to reach out to some of these bloggers a little bit more. Yeah, I understand your point, but at the end of the day, it's their platform. They are the one that have the audience, so it doesn't hurt.
Mr. Graham, hold on. I don't think you are understanding what is going on. And okay. Hello, good night, caller. Give me 1 second, please. Yes. As I explained before, right? There's only so much you can do with so little. Yes. I am not Jesus Christ. Somebody wrote earlier on and said a while ago that I reminded her of her husband, always looking for a fight. I am so sorry that is the impression I give. But and somebody wrote earlier on as well and said, for example, maybe we need a new president, and maybe we need a new president, and maybe I'm not the right person for this. No, I'm being very frank. I am going to be just straight up and playing with people. Okay, I'm not going to play the political game, so to speak, even with politics. There's no way, Mr. Graham, that I am going to be reaching out to all of the bloggers. I can't do it. I don't have the time to do it. And I know that many persons within our team have reached out to many bloggers. I know that for sure. And there are some vloggers who think that they're God gifts to the universe, and so you must reach out to them. And I disagree with that. If you want to serve your country, if you want to help your country, and you see an opportunity to do so, how in God's creation are you going to talk about you're waiting for somebody to contact you? Reach out. Our number is very visible there. Reach out and say, I would like to get the UIC on my program so that my viewers can hear what the UIC has to offer, because I care about my country. SoFlo, for example, he reaches out and he says, my viewers want coming to your circuit. My viewers want to hear from you. When can you come on the program? And I said, no problem. Give me 1 second. And I link him with the admin, and they work out a date and time. And I go on his program and I present. Unstoppable. Said, Mr. Patterson, my viewers want to hear from you on this matter. no problem. Connect with the admin. We set up a time, and I'm on the program. Any vlogger who is sitting out there saying you're waiting for Mr. Patterson to come and find them, that doesn't make no sense. Mr. Romans, your turn.
I was just making reference to the time when I got you connected to Leo Gilling in Florida. And I was just saying that, as a supporter of the organization who has passion, we can reach out to the bloggers too. Because if we are with them, we can reach out to them and say, listen, can you get the UIC on? And I was able to get that connected. So people who are volunteering can also help out. And we can put that out there and say, okay, guys, if you're passionately involved with these bloggers, Mr. Patterson will make himself available for some interviews. And people can do it rather than expect you, Mr. Patterson.
Yeah.
It's just,
really
you just don't have the time.
And the truth is, I have seen where, like, I browse through, right? I can't check everyone, but I browse through various bloggers' page to see what is going on. And sometimes I'm shocked. I find these bloggers who I don't even know, like I've never heard of them. And I'm scrolling through it because they're talking about a topic about Jamaica. And I see person saying, invite the UIC president. And I'm like, how come I've never heard from anybody that these bloggers have tried? And I see people in their program writing, invite the UIC president. I've seen one particular blog, a very, very powerful blog, very, very influential blog. They have great viewership. They do very good program, and they have invited everybody from one particular party. Yeah? And they have never invited the UIC. And people go on their program and say, invite the UIC, invite the UIC, and they're begging. And to this day, from that very powerful blog, very, very, they're doing a great job. I love to watch their program. When I watch it, they interview well, even though they put some softball questions to when their party people come on and everything. But the people are begging them to invite us. And to this day, no invitation at all has ever come from that particular very, very effective blog. Yeah. So we suffer these things. Anyways, any other questions or comments from anyone online?
Yeah, I think it's okay for them, those people who are writing those things, to call them. Yes. And tell them, listen, we want you to get the UIC.
They call too. One recently, another blogger who has had me on his program maybe 2 times. Both times it was about 50,000 views that the thing got, and about 175 to 200 comments, 90% of which were favorable to the UIC twice on his program. He has not invited me back since. Sometimes I think some of these vloggers, they invite me on their programs to destroy me, to see if they can find a way to damage, because some people seem to invest a lot of energy in that, to damage people's character and reputation. So they bring you on and they're looking for, can I kill him? And so I go on the program now, and their audience love what they're hearing and want to support it. And so they say, you know what, we just shut off the fella. I'm gonna want him back from the program.
One quick comment, Mr. Patterson.
Yes.
Andre Stevens, I think so. But however, do you know that last week I came across Andre Stevens, and he passed a remark that I had to commend him on. Mm-hmm. He said, somebody asked him, what do you think is the best type of government for Jamaica? He said, well, I think we should form a coalition government of the PNP, the JLP, and the UIC, because they are good people on all sides. That's what he said. Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, he did mention about the UIC. That's something good about the UIC. So, I mean, that's amazing.
One second. Good night, caller. Welcome to UIC Jamaica, UIC Liberty TV. Who am I speaking with?
Yes, Mr. Patterson.
Yes, sir.
This is the Jamaican Junker channel.
The Jamaican Junker channel. Wow. Big up.
Your Junker is everywhere, Mr. Patterson. Junker, they're everywhere. Junker hear everything, all right? So Junker have everything covered, all right?
Yes.
Now, let me tell you something. You have a good program, You have the best program
Yeah.
But the mind of the Jamaican people not ready yet. The mind still over 200 years in the back. That's the problem, you know. It's our mindset. It's the mindset of the black man. See, the psychological damage that was done to the black man from the slavery and colonialism was never corrected. That's why we can't pick up what you're saying. What you're saying makes sense. Every other ethnic group that jump on it and gone on the bandwagon. But because of that experience that we had, that was never corrected. We having this problem. Look, we're Africans here talking, but what we're speaking English. That is a problem. You see, that is a problem. So nothing is wrong with you. You got a good program. You got the most advanced program. We can take us leaps and bounds ahead. But our minds, that's where the barrier is. Probably if you were a preacher, probably if you turn on your collar and say, I seen the light, they would have flocked to you. But now, it will take a little more pain for them to really understand where I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Keep on doing what you're doing and don't ignore Janko. Because this is a good Janko, you know. This Janko that clean up bad mind. This Janko clean up. That negative mindset of our people that we must address if we're going to move ahead.
Yes, man. Mr. Drunkro channel, before you go, earlier today I was walking through, I have a little trail, you see, in my backyard, because I have a big piece of property, you see, and I was walking through the trail, and every time I walk by there, I see a drunkro fly out of a bush. And I thought a dead animal was over there, and today my wife, who went down there, discovered that they have some eggs down there. And the first thought that came to me was that I should burn the bush with the eggs. I don't know why that thought came to me. And then, hold on now, and then now my better senses kick in and say, but you know, a drunker is very important, you know, because they clean up the place. And so I'm very happy. I'm very happy to have a drunker like you on our program. On our program. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
We have bang, killing each other, self-destruction, that mindset. But we're going to win it up.
Yeah, man.
We're going to win. It's an uphill battle.
Yes.
But I tell you, we're going to win.
Absolutely. So I want to be on your program. So I'm inviting myself now to your program, right? So link up with the office and let's get on your program. I want to talk on your program and add some value.
John don't really have so much crowd, but we have a friend in Jamaica, good life.
Yeah, man.
We can come with him.
Yes, man.
We can do a thing.
So you,
good life, and the passenger.
So send me a WhatsApp message on this number and we'll link up and get on the program. All right?
No problem, Mr. P.
Respect. Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye.
And the other thing to Mr. Patterson.
Good.
Is that what we can do from abroad, we can get on some of those programs and talk on behalf of the UIC.
Absolutely.
And so we are open to talking. We are open to sharing with them why we stay abroad and support the UIC.
Yes.
And why we think this is the only hope for Jamaica. And that's why I put something in the thing a while ago that they call him Brogart, whatever they call him. We call you the answer. You're the answer. How about the answer? What I'm saying is that you are the answer. As I'm crowning you the answer tonight. You know, Mr. Patterson is the answer, and they can bring out.
I hear what I want. I want. If I could have my way, I would like for us to have 50 Joseph Pattersons. So I want to know 50. Yeah. So I want Miss Sonia Kildare to be a Joseph Patterson, if you will. And forgive me, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just saying, because what I want us to be brave and bold and stand up for the movement the same way or better than I would. So we want a Sonia Kildare as a Joseph Patterson out there. We want a Kurt Graham. We want a Uncle Keith. We want Carlene Ramirez Acosta. We want Damian Reynolds. We want a Kenneth Harper. We want, all of these people, Baba Tunde. We want all of these, everybody. We want to know, replicate me. So I know me now you look for to say, when Mr. Patterson there. So you're there on this station, you hear a powerful UIC voice, whoever it is from the movement. You're on this station.
That's what we're doing,
Yes, man. And that's why today, yesterday, was it you and was it Sunday?
Mr. Harper. Mr. Kenneth Harper, I think his name.
Yeah.
Yes. I went with him to canvass his constituency.
Yes. And so we don't want this, to be honest with you. It is no doubt that I am the founder and leader of the UIC. But we don't want to make this a leader-centric organization.
Exactly.
Yeah, we want to make this a organic organization, meaning we just spread out and powerful right through and across. And so we have it's like a spider with many legs, and then you spread a web, and the web can do all kind of stuff. You understand? As opposed to everything is the leader, right? So if me not there, nothing now go on. No, we want the system to be whether I am there or not.
Not.
Something not go on. Whole heap go on. You understand? And the UIC is bigger than the leader. The UIC is about the mission and the vision. And remember, our vision is this: a Jamaica that brings out the best in all its people. Not a Jamaica that is dependent on one man. A Jamaica that brings out the best in all its people. That's our vision. And our mission is to make Jamaica the world's first non-partisan constitutional republic, which protects the life, liberty, and property rights of every citizen equally, providing them an opportunity to live, earn, and retire with dignity in their own country. That is bigger than any one man. That is much bigger. This is about Jamaica now becoming the light on the top of a hill. We want to be the light of liberty, the light of freedom, the light of true independence, the light of true unity, the light of a country that recognizes its full power. We can be energy independent or secure, water secure, food secure, because we now have a thinking government, not a cut and paste government, not a buffoon government, not a government controlled by everybody who have some money for throw at way. So if China come, we're going China way. If America come, we're going America way. If England come, they say, build a jail instead of a hospital. We're going to build jail because them someone must build jail. Put your people, juke them with this. Juke them because we want the money, because they will give us some money to juke them. We don't want that kind of government anymore. We want a government that's how we're going to build up the human capital, how we're going to stop failing 70% of our students every year and instead pass more than 90% of our students every year. Not to merely pass exam, but to have competencies. Jamaica has a serious deficit of competencies. Most of our people don't have the analytical and technical skills necessary for a 21st century world. We're behind. Jamaica right now, our students leaving school right now are 20 years behind. Right now, every year we have graduation now in any of the schools in Jamaica. Of course, Immaculate is kind of different. They're on a different plane to a certain level. And then you have other schools that are, roughly up in something. But the vast majority, there are graduating students that are 20 years behind every single year right now.
That's true.
We're not building nothing. Where our students can't code. We can use video games. We can play video games. We can listen to music and dance and carry on. But we can't compete with the rest of the world. We're only available for whatever menial jobs might be around. And so what's going to happen gradually? We're going to have that position. We are going to be the people who occupy the menial space in our own country, and others will come in and occupy the higher level status in our society. Is that what we want? That's where they're leading us. That's where PNP and JLP have used 79 years to lead us. Do we want that? We don't want that.
Yeah, lack of vision.
Yeah.
Lack of vision. Yeah. It's amazing, Mr. Patterson. I wanted to, and of course, we're going to be working with Miss Meso on the pitch of what to tell the local people, because in order for us to get them, if we tell them about our mission and all those things, sometimes they might figure it's a little too intellectual for them. We might gonna have to break that down a little bit. And Kirk, you know exactly what I mean, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I agree with that statement a
We
lot.
can break it down for them to make it a little bit more catching, because even myself, I have to read that to remember what you say. And I'm not doing that in any way of contradicting. I'm just saying, for example, one of the things that I tell these people here is that the UIC believe in no tribalism, no segregation, because that's what those two parties stand for. They are there. It's either you or me, and we fight against West Kingston, and everybody have gone against each other for nonsense, right? The guy in Rwanda, Kigali, you know what he did? You know that they had the tribalism in Rwanda for years, and nobody pay attention to them because they're black. But when he went there, he tell all of them, no more tribe. We're all Rwandan. It's illegal to even mention tribe. You don't belong to any tribe. We're all Rwandan. And you know what he said? Let's first of all start with cleaning the entire country and make it a habit to clean the country every week.
The UIC
which is the same, as the UIC. So what I'm saying is we have to get something catching, and I'm sure our advertisement, our committee that is going to look into that, to find something that is more catching to the people, which is something that one of my friends in Jamaica had mentioned to me some time ago. He said, like, if we can just find something that the people can put that teeth in.
Can I challenge you? I agree with you.
Yeah, of course.
I agree. First of all, let me say this. Miss Kildare, you want to go to your bed now? You're tired.
No.
All right. So let me challenge Mr. Roman for a little bit.
Sure, absolutely.
Not because what he's saying is wrong, because it's actually in any organization, marketing is important.
Exactly.
So you can't discount that. Sometimes people forget that marketing and sales determine the success of everything else in your business.
Yeah.
Right? If you have no sales and no market, if you have no marketing, you have no sales. If you have no sales, you have no business. So marketing and sales for us. But I want to challenge you a bit though.
Sure.
You came into the UIC through the message that you have heard.
Absolutely.
And you are not a dunce fellow. You're one of the brightest people that I have met.
I don't know. I know
you're going to be modest, but you're an intelligent person. Kirk is an intelligent person. Miss Kildare is an intelligent person. And all of these wonderful people have come into the UIC through the message that we have presented. Now, nothing is wrong.
But everybody are differently.
Yes, nothing is wrong. You have to market. We have to find the best way to say it. But I want to explain something to you. So far, it's not the message why we're not getting more people. It's not the message. It is because the message isn't reaching to the people. Now, when I go down to Elam, down the road there, so, or I go up to Balaclava up the road there, so, or I go over to Santa and stand up in an in-town supermarket and talk to 200 people. By the way, down at in-town, I sign up 1,000 people for the UIC. Me and my wife, 1,000 people down at in-town in a Santa Cruz. All kind of people. And I find, and people used to say to me, you think Jamaicans going to understand the message? And every single community or group that I go to and present the UIC message, them get it. I have never gone to a community where me go there and stand up with them and talk with them and share with them the UIC message. I have never been to a single solitary community where they don't get the message. And every time I talk to a group of people anywhere, they're ready to support. And where we fall down is that the UIC doesn't have the operational structure to support them, because they don't have it enough. They don't have the money. They don't have they want to do something. For example, if I go to a community, give me all the tools and I'm going to go now. And then we can't get them all the tools because we don't have it. We can't pay for it. If they say, oh, I'm going here, so we say, okay, let's go. We can't just order a bus right away, and we can't just, have a bunch of organized, even you're going to take up people, they need to have a team, right? A team of persons who have the time and the availability and the skills and understand all the mechanics.
But sometimes we
yeah.
Sometimes we have to make the time,
No, I'm not saying we shouldn't make the time. We just talk about the reality.
No, man. I'm talking like people who are in the organization. Sometimes we have to.
Of course, we make the time
working
over and over. We make the Miss Sonia, we make the time over and over. And other
no, I'm not talking
to...
about you personal, sir. Yeah. Right?
But
I'm not talking about it.
Okay, let me back up a second.
Yeah, because all right. With Mr. For instance, then with Mr. Harper, when I saw the message, it was Saturday night.
Yes.
I saw the message Saturday night because where I live, I can't pick up no internet. If I leave and go on the main road, then I will pick up, right? And that is when the voice note download. So when I reach back home in the night, no one looking at the WhatsApp, I saw it.
Yes.
And I never even called him to tell him that I'm coming. Is the morning, the sun? I called and I said, where in Glengolf you are? And he said, so I said, if I come to above rocks, is it easier to get across to you? And he said, no, come to Labyrinth because the vehicle inside don't run good on a Sunday. So he said, come to Labyrinth Tavern. And then you take the Glengolf taxi. And I said, listen, to Labyrinth Tavern. Then when I get a Glengolf taxi, I'll call you and then you can tell the taxi driver where to let me off because the first I'm going to Glengolf. So I just go on the bus and I go to Labyrinth Tavern, which I know Labyrinth Tavern, right? Where I can get the Glengolf taxi. And when the taxi, when I start going to get the taxi now, I'll leave and I said to him, to speak to the taxi driver and tell him where to let me off. And the taxi do just that. Right? And it's just $150.
Well, we really need some
if we can just travel private to support.
Yes.
We not have this money where we are going to spend or we not have. And then when election time comes, that is when we're going to really need the support of whatsoever in the kitty. If we travel on the bus to meet each other and support each other, candidate, it can work because it was just alone that supported Mr. Harper. And we have a good time. In his, I think he visit about, I don't quite sure, maybe about 4 or 5 parties in his community. And it was really, the response was really good. That's how I said, Mr. Harper, you see, people really need change. And you know, if you're going to hold up details, because we have our shirt.
Yeah.
You see? And people, them just listen and them say, we really need the change. People, them tired and fed up. Them stress out. It's like them not have no more energy leave. So you just talk and I tell them and they say yes. That when him asks for them name and telephone number, them never hesitate. Some give him all 2 numbers.
I want to make a recommendation.
You see?
All the persons online who are saying, for example, Mr. Patterson love to deflect and so on. I want you to come and do exactly what you're asking us to do. Please, come do it. I want you to come and do it. Come and spend 1 month wherever you are from. Just call us up. The number, put the number on the screen here. I want you to come and do it. I want you to come. So the number on the screen there. I want you to come because it's easy. It doesn't require much. You just need to get up and just do. So and do it in a sustained way. Do it over 1 year. Some of us have been doing it for over 10. You come and do it for 1 year straight. 1 second. Hello, good morning. Good morning. You must be in Europe as this number looks very different. Good evening. Oh, this is going on. person just gone. All right, sorry about that.
Mr. Patterson,
I
Mr.
want
Patterson.
you to, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Graham. Yes.
Yeah, I would say ignore a lot of that because it's gonna come. One of the things I want you to do is people that are out of the country. How do they register to vote? Is
Oh,
there
yeah,
any
sorry, I didn't
way
hear
which
that.
I see a lot of people asking on the line right now? How do they register to vote if they're out of the country? Can you address that with them, please?
Sure. If you want to register the vote in Jamaica, you have to fly down to Jamaica, go to the nearest electoral office in your community. Normally, it's in the town of your community. So if you're, let's say, in St. Elizabeth, you're going to find one in Black River or one in Santa Cruz. And you go there and you give them your name and the local address, so proof of address, and they'll fill out the form, give you the form to fill out, and you take a picture and all of that, and then they will come to your house that you have given them and verify that you're there. It can take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month or more for them to come and verify you. So if you're here on vacation, which you're probably here normally for 2 weeks or so, chances are you're going to be out and having fun when they come to your house and you won't be verified. Or if you are like Miss Sonia Mignat, who stuck it out and waited, and then they finally come with a month, I think, for her, and so she got registered. So that's the process for you to become registered here in Jamaica. And when it's time for election, you will have to fly down to Jamaica and vote in the electoral process. Of course, when the UIC wins the election, with your help, you'll be able to register to vote from anywhere you are in the world, and you'll be able to vote from anywhere you are in the world under the UIC. But until then, the process is what I just described, a very painful one. 1 second. Good night, good evening. Welcome to the UIC Liberty TV. Who am I speaking with? Hello?
You're speaking with Damien Smith.
Mr. Damien Smith. Welcome, Mr. Damien Smith. What would you like to share with us tonight? Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Yes, so I think you just read my message about the deflect.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Share your thoughts.
So I am one of your audience followers. I'm often on your program at Patriotic Vibes.
Yes.
You must have seen it.
Yeah, man, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Patriotic Vibes. Yes, man. Respect. Thank you.
And I'm the one who made that comment about Mr.
Sorry, say that again.
Like about 3 or 4 times.
You're the one that said what? Say your call. It messed up your call.
Mr. Patterson like deflect.
Yes. What does that mean? When you say I like to deflect, what do you mean by that?
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Patterson. I believe in the movement because I'm a very, very strong supporter.
No, but I get that. I just want to make sure I understand. What do you mean by deflect? When you say deflect, what do you mean?
When I say deflect, it's like when I hear you talk about the fundraising, it's like you find every reason to say we can't do this or we can't do that because of this money. Nonetheless, I called your show, I called you off like 3 times. I spoke to Naima.
Yes.
That's her name.
Yes, Naika, yes.
And I told her that, yes, I told her I was coming to Jamaica and I wanted to actually meet with you. Or I wanted to make a donation, but I didn't want to disclose the amount of money I wanted to donate.
Yes.
I am not the PSOJ or none of those stuff. I just wanted to keep it confidential.
Yes.
My who I am,
Yes.
But I expected to get a call back like 3 times. I never did. This was in October. I didn't know.
Yes. So I'm very sorry. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I don't know why you didn't get the call back. But I want to say this to you, right? Every day there's somebody calling who wants to meet me personally. Every single day.
That's true. I can understand that.
Right, which is not possible, right? And it's also not safe either. Like, for example, today somebody called my wife and my wife answered the phone, and they said they want to make a donation, but I must come downtown to a particular street and meet them there to get the donation. Should I go? I know, but you're saying you wouldn't encourage that. You're being wise, but remember, we don't know you either.
I wasn't asking for a brief.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to explain to you that it's not going to be easy every time somebody calls. And this is me deflecting again, because that's the definition of deflecting. If I don't say yes, I'm deflecting. But I'm not deflecting. What I try to do for all of us, because I do realize that we have a very simplistic view of politics. Very, very simplistic view. And it's like what you heard a while ago, even from Miss Kildare, and it sounds simple. Just get up now and just jump on the bus and go join the fella and do the thing or whatever. And also it go on a long-term realistic basis, on a consistency basis. It no work. Yeah.
She said something about the bumper sticker.
Yes.
When we talked about that, I think that was in September. I put a comment in the chat that I was.
Sorry, somebody keep calling and cutting you out. But again, bumper sticker, nothing is wrong. I would like for us, Mr. Smith, right? I think the name is. I would like for us.
I said I would have done 10,000 personally just by me.
Good. No one, you can do it still. You got me now. Fine. I am very sorry nobody got back to you. But here we're going to do now. Now you get me on the phone. You wanted the 10,000 stickers. You get me on the phone now. We're going to 10,000 stickers. Okay?
We have to do this after here.
No, but I know. No, you're not going to necessarily get me tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm in court all day. Then I'm with the taxi drivers on the road tomorrow. Then I have another meeting with another group of people who want to meet me tomorrow. And then the point I'm making, my brother, it's not so simple for you. And people get in trouble with me for this, you know. They decide that they call me, and I need to make sure that I get back to them alone. And I'm telling you, it's not that simple.
You have an office.
Sorry?
I don't necessarily need you to get back with you. You have an office.
Right. So I'm telling you now, I want to lock it in now. Your number is here, and I would like to say I'm gonna watch me now. I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna give your number to the office right now. And I'm just typing it in on a screen here that is going to send it through to Naika. And then. Oh, that's not the number. That's not the right number. No, I'm not broadcasting it. I'm saying I'm going to send it through to Naika right now. So I'm sending it through right now. So it's going through to her. Nobody else now see it. Just me and her see it right now. And she is going to reach out to you. And the 10,000 stickers that you want to give us, we're going to lock that in right now. And my friends online, Mr. Smith name, right? Just your last name. I'm not going to tell him your first name so they can hunt you down. Mr. Smith is going to make sure we have 10,000 stickers, and we're thanking him very much for this, while we apologize for not following up. And as God lives, I'm not trying to deflect nothing. I'm trying to make sure that I contextualize things for us, so move away from being simplistic in our view of the political challenge we face and become realistic very quickly. If we don't become realistic very quickly, it's pie in the sky. It's wishful thinking. If we don't become, I know. I have. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. And don't feel away, you know. Don't feel away. Don't think. Yeah. Go ahead.
I said from Ocho to Farmers, I campaigned for you more than anyone else. My wife said, listen, are you here? And UIC pieces are vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. So there, I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's a lady by the name of Christine Simpson Menzel who wants to meet you. She's our director of fundraising and donor engagement. So when you talk to Naika, in the course of the day, yeah, Christine will talk to you. And again, my sincere apologies for any pain and suffering that you have gone through in trying to help us. There's a holy pipe we go through too. So we're all in the pain together, but thank you for understanding. Thank you so much. Have a good night. There's some others trying to call in as well. Take care. All the best. Respect. All right. So Mr.
Tell them don't feel no way. There are times when I try to call Mr. Patterson,
Yes,
and
I see how
I
things
appreciate if I do get him at all, man. You know, I
and
try to make it
and
as
and
concise.
and guess what? Me not try to be no important
Of
person,
course,
important and me can't take a call. It's just that it's not humanly possible. Mr.
yes.
Graham,
Yes,
it's not
sir.
humanly possible. We can't keep up with
I,
we get
I agree. I agree, but I'm reading from a lot of things that I'm seeing, and look
yes.
as if there are a lot of people that are complaining that they are
No,
trying.
some people are planned. Mr. Graham, some people are planned. Let me tell you, we just a bit straight up. Some people are here to dissuade people from supporting the UIC. They're literally
Makes
on
sense.
this program trying to type in things to get. If you watch most of our program, they're very positive. There's some who are trying to see if they can change the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah. While guess what? For them people lock us off from TV and radio, right? Okay, why don't they fly the gate? If they're not afraid of the UIC, why don't they fly the gate? And when they're reporting the news, just say PNP said this, JLP said this, and UIC said this. That's
So
all.
this makes sense.
Everybody who has said all the stuff that is going on, why wouldn't I go to TVJ and CVM and say to them, stop the foolishness. Let us hear from Mr. Patterson too. So when you report that the PNP said this and the GLP said this, also report that the UIC said this. Call them, same when asked for a quote, ask them for a comment on the same issue. Call UIC too and say, here's problem A. The GLP has said this and the PNP has said this. What do you say, Mr. UIC? And run a video clip too and show me, explain the answer. Just like how you show somebody from the PNP, I explain them response to something. No, they want to keep us in this dichotomy of ping pong between these two. So I want all of you watching not to be dissuaded by those who come here and write things to try to shape a narrative to say all kind of stuff. I'm not afraid of criticism, but let us be very practical and realistic about the criticism. There's no way, Mr. Graham, for a political party in Jamaica to operate on $5 million a year. No way.
That is true.
And we have done it. We have continued to survive. Look at it. The UIC is not a member of the ECJ. The ECJ is Jamaica's Electoral Commission of Jamaica, which is the body that governs political parties in Jamaica. The PNP and JLP has half and half representation on that body. They see all of our information because we have to file everything with them. We are not on that body and we see nothing. So they have full strategic insight into all of our doings. We're also the most transparent party in the world. How much time you hear Mark Golding and Andrew coming on to tell you how much money them get and who them get it from? How much time you hear that? Never. You can pick up something if you go research and but you don't get any feedback. They don't come and talk to you like this. What they do is talk to you the way that your brain has been wired by them to hear them. And they talk through the media, which they control, and they talk through their advertisement that they have flush of money to pay for. And when you're watching your TV, you see them going with motorcades, big buses, and whole heap of people. And when they have a conference at wherever, like some people are saying, UIC, have a big conference now. How do you think conference happen? When we check out to use the stadium, the millions of dollars we have to pay, right? And then you talk about security, you talk about all the pieces, and then the busload of people they're bringing, how do you think they get them? They have their men down there, here, 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, and they pool their people based on that and bring them in and create a facade. If you look at the faces, watch the camera carefully at their conference and just go through the camera and watch the faces of the people in the crowd sometimes and look at the disconnect between the leader up there talk and the people them down there, so, and you'll see, and they have some cheerleaders, some assign the cheerleaders to create some cheering sometime. This is all scripted, my friends. Them are fool way, and they have done it consistently for 79 years. And me, I said to us, make us broke out of the mindset they know. And to do it, we're going to have to do more than criticize Mr. Patterson and the UIC. We're going to have to get involved and help to carry the brick and carry the steel and carry the lumber and carry the nail and bring a hammer and help to build it.
That is true. Definitely agree.
It's much bigger than that, because the point is that how you guys not doing this, how you guys not doing that, what the USC did to do that, you know what I mean? And the essence of it all is the resources need to be there, and we the only source of the resource is the people who contribute.
Mr. Romans, suppose when the first time the UIC was conceived, I believe if you look at the UIC page, the date on that page, I believe, is January 2012. That's when the first UIC page was created, January 2012. And just imagine, just put yourself in my position. Let's say you have your wife and you're here, and your wife see you type away every day. I spend so much time sending out messages and bringing people into the movement, and you're typing it and you're going on here and you're writing manifesto and you're working through policies. Remember, nobody not paying you, There's nobody paying you a cent. All this time and energy, and you're researching and you're looking at different countries, and you go to China on business, and before you're focusing on your business, you're here figuring out for them policy versus Singapore versus Myanmar and trying to work through. And you're doing all of that, and you're doing that for 10 years straight, right? And you're paying for website out to your wife, money out, your wife, you're working, you put money, and you're paying that out, and you're paying for. We've had conference in 2016, 2015. We have our first launch on the lawn here, December 31st, 2015. Then again in 2016, we did the one in Kingston in 2017, in 2018, and you're working, and you're spending money, spending your money. That may have to pay the rent for all the venues, then that we get, pay the money for any transportation for people. The amount of money that I've spent out of my pocket and carried this on for 10 long years, any sane person would have given up long time.
I know.
Any sane person, sane.
Yeah.
So that means I'm definitely a madman.
Yeah, that was the major reason why I was so upset when they had that revolt, and the reason that they came up with. And listen, I started a business, and up to this today, the company have to be paying me back, because guess what happened? I have expended so much on the business, and this is just a small business. This is just so minute compared with what you have done, and I can relate a lot to what you talk about, a lot. You know what I mean? From a private perspective. And I mean, when I see you do that, and I look at everything, and talking about what attracted me to the UIC, one of the things that attracted me, and I think I might have told you that it had to do with my faith, and I prayed with some pastors out of Montego Bay, in not in person but in spirit. And when I came across the UIC and what it stood for, I said, "Oh my God, we have the answer here." That's what I'm telling you about. You're the answer. And when I listen to when I look at the manifesto, I read all of those things in 2 weekends. You know what I mean? And I said, "Oh my God, this is just amazing for the country." And the transparency and the honesty, and I mean the whole idea of looking at how to solve the problem from the roots. From looking at from the bottom up. I mean, those are some of the things that really impressed me. But some of the things that really, really impressed me was when you said, no segregation, no tribalism. I've always been very critical of the whole idea, the unwritten rule there against the people in the diaspora, and the unwritten rule here against the people back home. And I said, who is benefiting from it? Not us. Not us at all. Because guess what happened? There's no law here in these countries that is formed to accommodate us as foreigners. He will tell you, Kirk tell you, there's no law. As a matter of fact, they have way more laws to tighten against us. We just find a way to trick people to survive and to thrive, whoever of us is thriving. And there's a lot of us who are not thriving. He will tell you that. So what I'm saying is that when you look at what is happening there, and I can feel your pain, because you know how many times I could have said, you know what, I want to just go home. You know what I mean? So many times, because I can feel safe there. I know that this is my country, and I can go, and even to survive off much less than what I have here, I can. Yeah, so I'm talking about, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this man makes such a sacrifice. Such a sacrifice. And that's why I always talk about you. I always say, listen, this man, I look at you as a reincarnation of any of those people. Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King.
My favorite is Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey. All
my
these
hero.
people.
He's my
And
hero,
I said, but I would never like to know that this go blank, and then 40 years later, hear somebody bring it up in Parliament. Oh, Joseph Patterson is a hero. Because that's what they always do.
Yeah, we don't want any dead heroes. Let us all be
heroes. I have a question for you, Mr. Patterson. Before I do that, I have a comment. Because I'm reading a lot of things that I'm seeing, and I can say this. Jamaica is known for two parties, JLP, PNP. And this is not for you, Mr. Patterson. It's just a comment that I was reading.
Yeah.
If we have been voting JLP and PNP all our life, and we're still where we're at, what did it make if we give another party a chance? That's all I gotta say to a lot of people that
are nothing to lose.
It's not about if you feel as if Mr. Patterson is the right candidate or not. We have voted two parties, and we're at the same place where we're at. So might as well look at somewhere else.
We're the worst place. Look at this. Yeah. Look at this, Mr. Graham. Watch this carefully. We used to have Air Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We used to have an airline. Hold on. We used to have an airline. Sorry, a railway. Right? Remember, we used to have a nice railway running between the two.
We had the first railway in the Caribbean.
We used to have
in the entire Caribbean behind Britain.
Yeah, we used to have a public transportation system that was quite modern. Yes, I remember as a boy where we had buses that come on schedule, and you line up and go on the bus. Exactly. I remember that. I paid 5 cents to go to school. We used to have a vibrant banana industry.
Yes.
We used to have a vibrant sugar industry. We used to have a vibrant coffee industry. We used to have a vibrant cocoa industry. So hold on then. We used to own our 2 airports. So to me, the longer we keep these two, we keep talking about used to. You realize the longer we have them, the more we used to have something. Exactly. And it's getting worse and worse the longer we keep them. Now, you might recall, Mr. Roman, you're young enough to know this. There was a time when the Jamaican dollar was not too far from the US dollar.
Listen,
in fact, it was stronger.
When I left the year before I left Jamaica, it was $2 US for one Jamaican. Then the year after that, it became 2 Jamaican for 1 US. And then since that, everything gone totally.
We're now at 150. So back in the 60s, I checked the statistics. We used to have roughly about 66 murders a year.
Oh God, yes. Not to mention that.
Okay. So to me, it's very logical. If the longer you keep this up, is the worse it's getting. Now, here's the challenge though. Many people feel that the solution is to sit and wait, and then one day, God will bring down from heaven a new set of leaders, a new political party, and all they will have to do is just show up and dip their finger in an ink and mark an X. What they don't realize, as long as they're waiting for somebody to come and give them this opportunity, is the more they will never have it. The only way we're going to get it is by the Marcus Garvey way, is by we the people taking ownership and taking responsibility. As long as we're allowing them to fool us with the idea that somebody else out there will take care of it. If you notice what they did, the PNP and JLP wasn't from the people. It never come up out of it.
No.
It's two white-ish men who were supported by the plantocracy.
Right, but it's colonial.
And when we use the word plantocracy, we mean the PSOJ of the day. Back then it was called plantocracy. Today it's called PSOJ. It means powerful businessmen. So the powerful landowners who got the lands that were stolen from us and who control the industries that we were denied access to, they now sponsored these two parties as a dichotomy to divide us, distract us, and deceive us, and then are able to extract our wealth from us. And so they have done that successfully from 1944 to 1962 to 2022, and we're allowing it to continue into 2023. Now, I am saying to us, let us realize the game and decide now we're going to go back to the Marcus Garvey idea, where we have to own the party. We have to take ownership of the system. We have to take responsibility for our future and stop expect a Messiah to come. Because you know who the Messiah is? The Messiah is always a foreign power or big business.
To make it worse off.
Yes. And they come, the Bible put it this way, they come as an angel of light.
Uh-huh. Of
Yeah,
course.
they come as an angel of light, all dressed in white. Huh? Yeah. And then they come and tell us, don't worry, we put people first.
First.
Not going to profit.
Because you put them higher this squad.
We'll make money jingle in your pocket. Yeah, we'll make money jingle in your pocket. Prosperity time now. Don't worry. You will get prosperity without productivity. You'll get free education, free health care. Everything will be beautiful. You will not have to do anything. We, the Messiah, will give it to you. And because we're so dumb, we decide to fall for it not one time, not two times, not three times, but by God, for 79 years we fall for it.
Yeah. I echo what Kirk said.
What
Kirk just said it a while ago. You don't have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Nothing.
Period.
So my question for you, Mr. Patterson.
But we have work to do. Mr. Graham, Mr. Keith, Ms. Kildare, we have work to do. That is the problem.
And a lot too.
I don't want anybody to think that we have nothing to lose and nothing to do. We have nothing to lose, but we have a whole heap to do. We have to decide. I want this to get into the brain. We have to decide, are we have to fund this thing? And some people say we talk too much about money. Maybe talk about it till we're blue in the face. We have to fund the election of the UIC, or we'll allow the PSOJ to fund the election of the PNP and the JLP.
Absolutely. Mr. Kirk just disappeared. He's coming back. Yeah. But this is just makes so much sense, Mr. Patterson. And of course, I just want to appeal to those people who are maybe who tend to be a little impatient, and sometimes they might say something that can you join the edge.
No, but you see, sometimes the same people we tell you say you talk money too much. Sometimes them say man sell out the country because them say man sell them vote.
Yeah,
they want you to pay them, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mr. P.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In my community, one of the best way that I spread the word to persons about the UIC too. I let them know about your seminar, about you teaching financial freedom.
Yes.
And I asked one question: how many politicians do you know that teach you how to manage your free? How many?
That's genius. That's genius.
At the end of the day, if you look at the backtrack for 76 years, how many politicians are robbing them?
They don't want to know. I have never heard the Prime Minister explain to the Jamaican people why he has a company incorporated in St. Lucia, and that company owns his house. The house is not in his name or his wife's name, but it's in the name of the corporation that is domiciled in St. Lucia. It would be nice if the Prime Minister said to the Jamaican people, I would like to escape paying taxes in Jamaica, even though I set the laws and enforce the tax code on you. And so I find that it's more advantageous for me to register my company in St. Lucia so that I don't have to pay the taxes you have to pay. Now, me on the other hand, I will say to you, here is all of the ways that you should organize your finances to pay no more than your fair share of taxes. Yeah, and I will tell you how to structure your investments so that you can have true financial freedom, and I'll define that for you as having a situation where how many years you can live without physically working for money by making good financial decision making. Then I'll explain to you the intricacies of the monetary system so you understand how it works against you and how you need to make sure you edge against all of the things that is designed to work against you. But your Prime Minister won't tell you these things, but he knows them. He knows them
because that what he will tell you his plan tax, but he won't tell you why he's not paying the taxes he's supposed to pay.
Yes.
And he's not.
What he will tell
at
you
the end of the day, he's not going to tell you how to save money either. He's not going to not to pay tax.
He will disclose to you. He will have their fake system of asset declaration each year. The fake system is a fake system. Yeah. Of asset declarations where they understate their assets and create the appearance as if they are clean, when anybody who has a limited amount of sense can look at the picture and realize that the longer they stay in politics and the more senior their role in politics is, the richer they get. And if you take a comparable Jamaican of the same age group and talent that they have over the same course of time, that the vast majority of Jamaicans outside of politics doing productive work cannot measure up to them economically. And the question should be asked, why does it take politics for people to become wealthy in this country? Why aren't we creating more millionaires by being productive citizens in the private sector, working hard and working smart and being innovative and being productive? Why the way to get wealthy in this country is to join one of those two gangs and to become very active in their enterprise, and then somehow, without being able to show any rationale for it, your net worth skyrockets. For example, I'm not going to pick an Andrew alone. Look at Portia Simpson Miller. Now, there are many who think that she doesn't have the highest IQ. I'm not going to say that. But where did her net worth come from? Where did her net worth just... Portia Simpson Miller has been in politics from I was a child, okay, until she retired recently, from a child. I knew Portia. I have sat on Portia Simpson Miller's lap down at Marmalade College and over St. Mary's Church across Washington Boulevard. I have been to meetings where she's planning strategy as a young girl, a young lady. I've seen her up close. Where has she done anything in the private world to amass the wealth that she did, the net worth growth that she did over the time? If it were her salary alone, based on the salary of politicians, it's highly unlikely. And why is it that a similar young girl like her, of similar IQ level, why is it that the hundreds of thousands of other young girls like her could not have over the same period amassed the same amount of wealth?
Embezzlement.
Why such an outlier? Why such a small, minute number? And it's always if they're involved in politics that this happens. Or if they're not involved in politics directly, they're indirectly involved like Mark Holding was, where you're one of the backstoppers, you're one of the funders behind the scenes, and you have great connections with the players, and eventually you make your transition in when you get bored of just doing business.
Embezzlement.
So I wanted to think about these things. I want to get the Jamaican people to stop being so naive, stop being so simplistic. And let's get to the bottom of this. The people them have stolen our monies. Listen, my last point, I have to go, Mr. Graham, Mr. Romans and Damien and Sonia. Here's the thing. These guys have poured $2 trillion in our name. We have had to slave to pay back that money and still can't pay it back yet. Slave.
Plus interest.
With interest.
Speak the truth.
Our backs have taken so many whips. They call them things like banning your belly. Remember those days they tell us we need to ban our belly? They call them, there's another word they call it, which tell me the word. There's a word, a nice word, which means you suffer, right? Austerity measures mean you suffer. The Jamaican people have suffered to pay back the debts of these two parties. Them borrow the money, them take the money, them enrich themselves, and then we have suffered to pay back that and still can't pay it off yet. And then they come and tell us, oh, the economy is stronger. The debt to GDP level has come down now from 140% to 100%. How did it come down from 140 to 100%? You know how? We paid for it with bad roads, bad health care, bad school, bad police, bad nurse, bad teacher. We paid for it, and now we're seeing it in the culture of the people, because now Jamaica has become a scamming culture.
Yes, sad.
If you deprive the people of effective education, if you deprive the people of quality health care, if you deprive the people of an infrastructure that would allow them to be productive and efficient and to grow their economy, if you deprive us of those things to pay back the $2 trillion that you take, you drain us. And then the little bit of us who might have been not too dumb will migrate. And so now you have an excess of one type left and an excess of one type gone. So most of your best gone and most of your worst left. So that now multiplier effect kick in. The multiplier effect kick in. Yeah? And so now you start to have the worst influencing the worst to get worse up. You understand? What's up with that? So you keep building this up. And the best now is also multiplying. The best are over there in a foreign and multiply. We're engineers. We're teachers teaching at higher levels. We're professors. We're nurses. We're doctors. We're all kinds of things. And we're adding value over there. So yes, I'm going to send back some money. And the money we send back, where it's going on? Basic. Hairstyle. Dance. Yeah? And so the money that is coming back here now is not really helping much. It's just stopping starvation. Stop gap. And then the bad thing now continues to multiply over here. And then we have a big crime problem. And how we solve the crime problem? We send the brutalizing police in to go brutalize our young men and lock them up and take them from them job and make them come out vex and wicked up. And then that multiply too. Yeah, and that multiply too, and that multiply more. And then we say, oh, we have a bigger crime problem. What we do? Okay, let's have constant state of emergencies now. So we're going to take away the rights of everybody to fix the problem. No, not everybody. Only in the depressed communities. We will exempt the upper communities. And then that now multiply more at this disdain for law and order, at disdain for authority. Yeah. And we say, we have a serious problem. The And we start now to blame the people now, blame the people now, blame the people. When who we should blame?
Then you call on America to come help you solve the problem.
Yes. Who we should blame? Here's who we should blame. Those who have
Can we
led
please
us for
mute
7
the mic
years.
that has the
Yes.
dog barking in the background?
Say that again.
Someone has a dog barking in the background on their
Dog
mic.
bark.
Yeah, if we could
Oh,
just mute it.
Who is barking? Is that you, Mr. Reynolds? Or
No, it's gone already, sir.
they're gone now. Okay, so it's not my dog. But thank you for that.
So
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
have a question for you, Mr.
Yes.
Patterson. I've been asking.
Yes.
I've been meaning to ask. If elected, what is your plan to fix Jamaica's infrastructure?
Oh boy. We're now 3 hours into this call, but let me try.
Okay.
Let me try. It's 3 hours, and I have to leave out early in the morning to go to court, and I live in St. Elizabeth, and court is in Kingston. So by the way, those who think we're not young, because we get locked up on September 27, 2021, I have to go to court almost every month or every other month. And that means taking me out of my life to go to court for the whole day. One and a half hours to Kingston, 1.5 hours back. But I was already gone across the night and in court. But let's continue. The question about what we're going to do to fix the infrastructure. I can't answer it right now in the time I have, but I'll say this. The UIC approach is comprehensive. We understand that the infrastructure to the economy. If you don't have well-planned, well-designed, well-managed infrastructure, you have well-developed economic growth from the bottom up. And I'll give you just one example. We are going to make sure we have a public works department that is working public 24/7 to maintain our road networks. Why? We believe number one, we must design the road properly based on the environment and based on the physics that we need for proper water runoff to prevent unnecessary blocking of the road and irrigation. Right? We're going to get for more roads the true life cycle of the road. Right now, it's less than 10% of the life cycle because it is meant by the qualified that there are warning contracts based on affiliation, not based on confidence. So we're going to fix that out. So some people either good and the majority of the regular public roads. This approach that the road design is going to need now less wear and tear on the key points and therefore almost the economy from one structural change in the way they operate. Understand. I appreciate that you I can only ask that all the work was appreciated the time I've given to the UIC. I encourage you all to become volunteers yourselves, become donors yourselves, join the movement so we have the numbers and strength, and then just together transform Jamaica, become the one we know that we're stronger
Together.
Good night. Until next time. All the
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Talk to you later. Kirk, I'll talk to you, man.
No problem, man. We'll talk.
Okay, good. Good. I have a lot to talk. All right, appreciate it.
Well, everyone that's online, thank you so much for being with us here. Really appreciate it. Like everything, give us a score of whether it's 100% or 1%. Whatever you think, however you think, if you are tonight. It was a little long, and sometime I'm rough, but I hope you can appreciate the necessity for that. But take care until we talk again. All the best. And I'm hearing that my voice is gone, but such is